Good evening and welcome to our pregame swarm with head Hornet Brian Maupin on the Maumelle Sports Network. I'm play-by-play voice Steve Henson and joined as always by my broadcast partner Tyler Chenault. Gentlemen, how are we tonight?
Doing well.
Good.
I'm enjoying the weather once again. I felt it was great. I'm trying to acclimate really to this coming up Friday. It's getting a little warmer. So I think I saw mid-90s. So weird enough, this will, I guess, be the hottest football game of the year so far.
Yeah, who knows? Week 0 would be our coolest game before Halloween.
Yeah, man, no doubt about it. And I don't know if you can tell, I'm so gray beard now, but I decided I'm not going to shave again until we win. So we need to win Friday. Just saying.
I'm into.
Yeah, let's go.
All three of us.
Yeah, Tyler's there too.
I still probably won't shave though.
Yeah, I won't be shaving.
Yeah. It's still a little warm for me to not shave. I got to give it about another month or so, and then I can do it. So. Well, man, Coach, week 1, honestly, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on week 1. A tough second half was the difference. Give us your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think, much like last year, I think we showed that we could play with anybody for a half. The challenge is to put that together for 4 quarters. The frustrating part is I thought we did a pretty good job. One of the only things we did a great job of in the Sylvan Hills game was actually playing all 4 quarters, finishing, putting together a 2-minute drill, putting ourselves in a position to be at the 2-yard line with a chance to win. There were times in that game where we could have let some bad plays snowball. I didn't think we did that. So that was kind of frustrating to revert to that in week 1. We had some guys banged up, and I think our depth, kind of bit us in the butt there at some tough moments. And, but to be really honest, we've got to execute and make plays. And, there's no better live action than playing a top team in your classification and being put in those one-on-one positions and having to make or break those plays. And so I would much rather be learning these lessons week 1 than what I thought, last year we had some of those similar plays happen in week 10 in the conference championship game. And so hopefully what I'm hoping is we can use this as a stepping stone, a learning tool, go on a run similar to last year and put ourselves in a position kind of for another opportunity to shine in those moments later in the year.
When you look at last year's first matchup with Parkview and then this year's matchup, the first half, fairly similar. I thought we were a little better offensively in this one in the first half, obviously, but you called that a measuring stick game. We talked about that. I felt like this year really, we kind of looked like the better team than Parkview in that first half. There was a couple questionable calls. There was some timing, maybe issues there, a ball a little too deep here or there that really derailed us from what could have been a halftime lead instead of a 14-7 deficit. What do you take from that game going forward that you can impart to these guys and get that run once we get into conference play?
I mean, I think the big message is if we execute, we can play with anybody in the state, which is an encouraging thing, but it's not a finished product at all. So I'm not here for, moral victories or anything like that. But I agree with what you said. If we will execute and make the plays as they're designed, as they're presented to us, then we have shown that we have the propensity. What happens if we connect on a couple of those wide open plays where we should be touchdowns, could be touchdowns, and now we go up a score or 2? It's a whole different mindset how they react. They hadn't been down a couple scores since Bryant last year, so rather than us having to figure out the mental fortitude to respond to some negativity and a deficit, what happens if we put other people in that position? Last year we were able to do that to a couple teams like a Whitehall and schools like that. And you saw some teams don't respond well to that. We didn't respond well to that. And so the more we can put others in those uncomfortable positions, the more advantageous it'll be for us.
All right. So let's move on, get into this week's game. Obviously, the final non-conference game of the season, but more importantly, first game in front of our home crowd. This team, I know we're excited, but you guys have got to be excited about getting to play in front of Hornet Nation this week.
Oh, yeah, very excited about it. Obviously, love home games here. It's been one of my favorite things since coming over here is just playing in front of the home crowd in the stadium. It's got a great aura. It's just kind of in the back of everything. It's its own little island. I mean, I think Thomas Thrash took a drone shot early in my career here, and it's just like complete darkness, and then bam, the stadium and the field. And I just think that's a pretty unique and cool thing. And so getting the guys, we're going to be able to open car doors Friday morning at the elementaries for the first time this year. We were able to get 3 lifts in this week for the first time this year. And so finally being it, we didn't have a junior high game till 10:30 last night on Tuesday. So like so many norms are coming back around. It feels like football season finally, not camp season, non-conference benefit week. Like it feels like football season. Friday night football is upon us here in Maumelle, and that's exciting.
Yeah, for sure. It's probably nice. You're getting to play at home and you're getting to play on a Friday night too. So two positives right there. But we said it before, grand scheme of things, these non-conference games, they don't mean a whole lot, especially when you're looking at playoffs. But how big is it going to be able to try and get one in the win column before conference starts in a couple weeks?
For sure. I mean, big thing. It's very strategic with our non-conference. Valonia and BB are similar dynamics as far as style and community. And so I can't think of a better opponent, non-conference and not BB, to prepare us for our first conference game than Valonia. I mean, they're kind of like stepbrothers to each other that don't really like each other. So, I think that it's a wonderful opportunity for us to get some things right, try some things out, work out some final kinks, and get ready for that first conference match. That's going to mean the world to us, is playing BB at home in 3 weeks, and so, or 2 weeks if you count the bye. So for us, I think it's a really good. The other thing that's really exciting is they're not re-ing up our contract. So this is kind of an old rivalry game that I inherited. I was really excited to get them etched in on non-conference. I think it's great for these two communities to play each other. They don't want to play going forward. And so I'm excited to send them off with a bang and give Hornet fans some last bragging rights if we can. And so that's important to our guys to kind of, if this is going to be the last time we play Valonia outside of the postseason, let's go out with a bang and let's handle business.
So Valonia, they did take it on the chin last week, losing 46-14 to Sylvan Hills. So they're dealing with that, not their best showing, not how they wanted that game to go, obviously. But what are you expecting them to try and do against y'all this week to try and get going back with a W?
Well, one big thing is I thought that Sylvan Hills was really good about staying on schedule offensively. If you watch, their drives were really on schedule. They mixed run pass well. The RPOs were clean. Everything was positive. So I would look for them to try to create some negative plays, maybe be a little more risky and not just take it on the chin, but kind of force some negative plays, put us in situations where we have to react and make a play rather than just, bend but don't break defense. I think they're going to try to be more aggressive this week, try to mix things up, be a little less disciplined, but a little more aggressive. That's what I could see, but traditionally they're a really, really fundamentally sound, hardworking blue-collar team. And so, I say that they're going to be who they are. But coming off of last week, that's what I would expect, just a little more forcing the issue, trying to put us in bad situations.
Gotcha. Last one for me. Defense, to me, seemed to take a step forward last week, especially in the first half. Looks like we were able to, you were able to fix some things from that first game. But the offense looks a little bit different. You can kind of say the opposite. Now, I know they were playing a little bit different team as well, but who do you expect to step up this week offensively to get them going back to how they looked to start the season?
Well, y'all been calling for it since I said in the preseason. Should be a big week for the backfield. Jacob Henry will be taking more snaps back there. I expect him to have a monster night. But Bubba and Mo are going to have big nights back there. I expect Levi to play a clean game. We've challenged him to kind of take what they're giving us, make the right read, be decisive. But obviously, we want to get Jackson and CJ in space and, make them make tackles, kind of do to them what Parkview did to us and break things down to a one-on-one matchup and see if our guys can't win those one-on-one matchups. But definitely it'll be a welcome sight to be able to run the ball up. Man, Parkview does a really good job of making sure you can't run the ball. Mm-hmm. And when that's such a big part of what you do, this early in the season, man, it's really tough to be sharp and crisp in the passing game like you need to or like you'd want to when you can't just turn and hand it to that guy. And so we're going to really focus to get the running game going this week and, then look to take our shots and advantage in the passing game when they present itself.
Will was working on graphics earlier, game day graphics, and I texted you, Moppin, and told you. So I feel like I picked the right week to go with the big dudes up front, as we'll have Jalen Harris and London on there as our covers on there. So that's something that I took away from watching a little bit of that Sylvan Hills Valonia game, and is this is a team that doesn't seem to be as physical, a team that we ought to be able to push around a little bit. So I know I'm looking forward to seeing that running game get some work, and then maybe Jumpman do his thing out there.
For sure.
All right, well, fellas, that's going to do it for our pregame swarm. Coach, appreciate you joining us, and good luck tonight.
Go Hornets.
All right, good evening and welcome, Hornet fans, to Maumelle Hornet football on the Maumelle Sports Network on Natural State Sports. I'm Steve Henson, along with my broadcast partner, Tyler Chenault. Tyler, how are you, man?
Hey, man, I'm good. I'm glad to be here on a Friday. Not all of us have to go back to work tomorrow, so that's good. Hoping to see Maumelle kind of get that first dub. I think they got a really good shot at it. They had a tough week 0, I guess, with Sylvan Hills, and then Parkview, obviously. Parkview's still an extremely talented team that we had a shot at and just kind of let go of the rope late there. But I think we got a good shot to kind of get on the right track before conference starts.
Yeah, it's good to be at home. And as you said, on a Friday night, and welcome to our pregame swarm. As you said, a big Week 2 matchup against what is pretty well a rebuilding Valonia team. I was talking to Coach Watson earlier as he came up here to our broadcast spots, and we were kind of just going over things with this ball game, and he made the comment, I don't know that I've seen a Valonia team quite this bad in a long time. This is a team that struggled to get things going early on, a 6-3 win over BB, and then a 46-14 loss last week against Sylvan Hills. And Coach has got his work cut out on that Valonia sideline.
Yeah, it's a team that offensively, just listening to those scores, they struggled so far this year, trying to get anything going. So it's something we know. Maumelle, they definitely showed flashes last week of that defense and how stout they can be, especially in the first half of that game. Sylvan Hills a little different story, but I think Sylvan Hills also has a whole lot more athletes running around on the field than this Valonia team does, and so does Parkview. So I think it's a chance for Maumelle to get back on track defensively, to get their confidence up on both defense and offense, coming into a bye week and then a huge first week of conference against BB, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So we'll open things with BB and in conference play. And I know that these guys will be ready to get to that bye week. But, obviously an important game here. I know we talk a lot about non-conference play and how it's, in the overall scheme of things, it's not very important when you start looking at postseason play. But from a confidence standpoint, from a you want to feel really good about yourself going into that bye week. You got things to work on, but it's extremely important here tonight to get a win in this ball game and go into that bye week with at least one victory.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I got to ask Coach Maupin this week in our pregame show that you just watched before this is how big is it? We know conference isn't, in the grand scheme of things, it's not important, right? You can go 0-3 in conference, but if you win enough games, or in non-conference, but you win enough games in the conference slate, you're going to make it to the playoffs, and then everything's possible there. But in terms of just confidence, I wanted to ask Coach Maupin how he felt about that, and how big is it to be able to come into this game, hopefully get a win, so that you've got a win underneath your belt before you have your bye week, and you're not stewing in an 0-3 start, and then you can hit the ground running against BB at first week of conference.
So these teams come in 8-3. Maumelle is all-time against Valonia. Won the ball game last year, I believe 3-2 in the last 5 since 2020. But a game that they were able to win last year, and they look to build upon that going forward here. Obviously, kind of the same schedule that we had last season, and the only difference is the blemish to Sylvan Hills to start the year this year, and that ball club looks to be pretty special. Obviously, much improved as we go forward. But as you look at the numbers leading into this game now. Granted, you did play a really dynamic offense in Sylvan Hills, but Maumelle's given up 319 yards a game passing, 267 yards a game on the ground. Those are numbers that you've got to get better and got to get better in a hurry.
Yeah, those are numbers that'll kind of make a defensive coach like Coach Maupin probably throw up a little bit in his mouth. He's like, that's not what he wants to see on the stat sheet whenever he finishes a game on Friday. But you're right. He definitely that was against two of the better offenses that they're going to face all year. Just looking at the schedule, I was like, these first two games that we've already played, I mean, you're not going to see teams that similar to that until week 10 whenever we play Robinson.
Yeah.
Like, who else in our conference besides Robinson is really on the level of those two teams? And I know Sylvan Hills went 0-20, but Sylvan Hills is a completely different team than they were last year. We cannot compare them now to what they have been. They're a team that is going to be successful, and I think they've got a pretty good shot to at least make the playoffs and make some noise. I'm not picking them to win any state championships yet, but they're definitely not the team that they were. So we had our first two big tests early. We'll obviously have a huge test week 10 against Robinson, but until then, there's a lot of chances for improvement and to get some W's.
Yeah, and we all talk about how good the 5A Central is, but you kind of got to look at it right now and wonder how good is the 5A Central. When you think about the fact, what you were just saying, really probably the two best teams we're going to see all season long potentially before that week 10 matchup, we've already seen in the Sylvan Hills and obviously Parkview teams. But because once you get into the conference slate, you got a BB team that you get here. You know where they're at. They're rebuilding. Pine Bluff, also a team that's in a massive rebuilding mode. We do have to go to Watson Chapel, but again, historically, that's not been a very good program, and I know that they've still got some work to do this year. Jacksonville, jury's still out on what Reggie Swinton's doing over there.
They have a couple of athletes. They have the ball. I think they have both Ball brothers still.
Yeah.
And I know at least one of them is getting some accolades and some offers. So I think they'll be a little bit. And it was a tough game last year.
Yes.
Jacksonville was.
And then you get Whitehall at their place. Again, tough team to play, but again, you should have more talent than them. And then Searcy is a team that I've not paid a whole lot of attention to Searcy this year, but again, we know what Searcy brings. We know how tough that game was last year at their place.
Yeah, Searcy's typically a pretty good. They're a good program, typically a good team. I don't know that they're a team. I don't think they're anywhere kind of near the level of Robinson. I think Robinson's obviously, one of the top teams in the 5A, not just the 5A Central. So besides that, I mean, Searcy will probably be a pretty good test, and I think Whitehall might as well. The rest are still kind of rebuilding. A lot of them are first, second-year head coaches that they're still kind of working towards building that foundation to continue. It's a league that could surprise some people, but I don't know that they're going to have a whole lot to say at the end of the year, except for maybe your first and second seed in the playoffs.
So you look at now. This is a defensive stat on one side that I think Coach Maupin would probably be pretty happy with, but then on the other side, probably not very happy. We're holding teams to 30% on third down. They've been really good in third down. The problem is teams are 58% against us on fourth down. That's 7. When you look through the numbers, 7 out of 12, I think, is what the numbers are. 7 additional possessions for teams in the first 2 weeks of the season. That puts a lot of stress on your defense.
Yeah, and that's just the way that football's going now. Fourth down is no longer an automatic punt anymore. All the analytics and stuff, and we could say that PA maybe started that even at the high school level. He moved; it even went up because Coach Kelly, who not at PA anymore, obviously at Sheridan, but he started that before even your colleges started doing that, the big analytics stuff. But now, even next week, the Razorbacks game, you're going to see Ole Miss. They're going to go for it on fourth down a lot. So that's something that's definitely taken hold. So now you're playing a 4-down game instead of a 3-down game every time you're on defense. So you're going to pay attention to that fourth down percentage as much as you used to third down now.
As we look across on the offensive side, the offense has had its moments. Obviously, we saw the big play ability in the Sylvan Hills game. We're averaging 240 yards a game passing. That's nothing to slouch at. I know that Levi would probably say he'd like to see a few more out of that, but 240 yards per game is not terrible. 102 on the ground is the one that I think is surprising to me. This is a team that we've talked with Coach Maupin about now. Again, against Parkview, you knew what you're going to get. Maybe a little disappointing that you weren't able to get the running game going against Sylvan Hills and kind of counter what they want to do from a pace perspective. But the 102 per game is what kind of concerns me a little bit. It's something that is, as I look at some of the keys to this one, I think we all expect this running game to get going tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Maupin, he said it in the pregame show. He said, y'all been asking for it all year. He said, I think you're going to finally get it this week. We're going to be able to run the ball some against them, and I mean that's extremely important. I don't care what offense you run. I don't care who your coach is, who your players are. If you can run the football, it's going to open everything up offensively. Just to be able to open the box up. And then make them have to fill the box so that you can throw the ball kind of on a loosened back end there. And that's something we've seen. I think we've seen a lot of steps forward for Levi this year in throwing the ball. He looks a lot more confident back there. I don't know. He was pretty confident last year, but he definitely feels like he can make the throws now, and I think he sees things a lot better than he did last year. So if we can run the ball and make him a little bit more comfortable back there so he's not under duress all the time, and so that maybe he's got some looser coverages, I think we'll be able to see him sling the ball around a little bit more, and that's just what running does. Running opens everything up for you.
The other piece of that, too, 24% on third downs. That's a huge number as well. Our fourth down number is not a whole lot better than that, and so you're not gaining those extra possessions that you're giving up on the other side. And so I think that's an important piece of it too. 33% on fourth down. So again, those numbers are numbers that you hope to see improve, and a big reason why this team is 0-2. You're giving up too many possessions on one side, and you're just not getting enough or continuing enough possessions on the other.
Yeah, and that really all starts from what are you doing first and second down to put yourself in third and even now fourth and manageable. And, we've struggled. When you can't run the ball, you put yourself behind the sticks because most of the time an offense is going to try and run the ball at least once per possession. And if you're not running it well, you're going to be behind the sticks because you're not going to gain a yard or two on that, and it's going to be a little bit harder. You've got to get in those third and manageable, third and short, fourth and short so that you can get those numbers up and add possessions and continue moving down the field.
Is Steve Sullivan, our honorary, that's Jack Langford down there. Never mind. The gray hair looked like Steve Sullivan down there at the 45-yard line, but that's actually Jack Langford that's down there. So, but as you look at the numbers overall, Levi Warrior leading the way, 479 passing yards on the season, 6 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. That obviously is a hugely important number, but he's also added 81 yards on the ground. And that's a piece of his game. When we came into last year, I knew Maupin told me, he can run it around a little bit, but that's what we're going to use Andrew for. Well, Andrew no longer here. Now you get to really see all the tools of Levi Warrior, and he's done a great job maneuvering the pocket and really taking advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves in the running game.
Yeah, he's showing some shiftiness, showing a little bit of speed. I don't think he's going to break away from anybody too often, but he's got enough speed to get himself out of the pocket and get some yards before he gets down and gets out of bounds. But he's also shown us that he's not just going to get down. He's lowered his shoulder. Yeah. Huge props to him. I guess, was it last week that he lowered his shoulder? Something you don't see happen sometimes in college and the NFL. Those guys will step out before the sticks if they're afraid of getting hit. But he lowered his shoulder, so he's a guy that he's willing to do it. That's another thing that's going to open up your offense, make it a little bit easier, slow down the pass rush a little bit if he shows I can hurt you with my feet more than just my arm.
Leading rusher, Bubba Johnson, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. And, of course, your leading receiver, Jackson Hampton, on the season, 9 catches, 182, and 2 touchdowns. I can't wait to see what he can do with 2 healthy hands.
And the fact that Jackson Hampton has 182 yards, and then I'm sure our second leading receiver, he's probably up close to the 182 with Jumpman.
Yeah.
I mean, he had that in one game, so you've got 2 guys that have about all of those 479 passing yards from Levi split between 2 guys. But Jackson, hopefully that hand's a little bit better, even more this week. Banged it up a couple times, but I think as much as anything, and talking to Jake pregame, because he was down there watching it, he thinks it just hurt him a little bit. And I was like, it probably scared him too, because he just got it back. Did I hurt it again? Did I break it again? Or is it just a little sore as it's getting healthier and healthier?
All right, that's going to do it for our pregame swarm. Coming up next is our Akel's kickoff. We'll be right back.
The wait is over. It's the grand opening at Akel's Flooring and Cabinets. Our brand new location on Rodney Parham means more space, more inventory, and more savings than ever before. Save up to 50% off store-wide on luxury vinyl, carpet, and now featuring our new line of all-wood cabinets. In stock and ready for immediate delivery. We'll even pay your sales tax, plus interest-free financing for 3 years. Akel's Flooring and Cabinets, where we make it beautiful for less.
My name is Brandon Aker.
All right, welcome back as we are just about set for our Akel's kickoff. And let's go talk to the third member of our crew tonight, Mr. Jake Hall down there at field level.
Hey there, guys. Excited to be here, just like you guys. Friday night, I'll finally get to be here at Hornet Stadium. I'm excited. I've been with you guys for two weeks. This is week 3 now, and I finally get to make an appearance out here at Hornet Stadium. It's exciting. Glad to see these guys in their sweet black unis. They look scary, honestly, from down here on the field. I like the look. But I just also what you guys are saying. This is a pretty disappointing schedule. You start off the season 0-2. You get this game and then a bye week, but then you got a little home stretch. So if you can get a win here right here, next thing you know, your season gets turned around real quick, man, because I like your chances when you're playing in front of this crowd that they have here at Hornet Stadium.
Absolutely. Well, Jake, appreciate you. We'll come back to you here in just a few minutes and get ready for our coin flip here.
Welcome to Erica.
All right, Jake Hall, our sideline reporter. Appreciate Jake as we see our honorary captains and Coach Horton there as we are just about set for our coin flip. We're gonna have a great view of our coin flip tonight. Did you see we found the fly cam? I found all the pieces for it. So Kristen is back on fly cam tonight.
Nice. She probably is, much happier having that one instead of toting around the whatever you call that contraption.
The monopod.
It's not a tripod because then she wouldn't be able to move around too much. But yeah, it's much nicer, I'm sure, with the counterweights on it and everything. But I agree. The black unis, they look nice.
They do look really good. Jasavion Eason, as well as, I was trying to read through that quickly, but
22,
Carson
4.
Brister,
Yep.
Christian Jackson, and number 17, Deion Smith, are your captains tonight.
Jumpman standing there front and center.
Now we just need to get a mic on our official, and we'll be just golden.
We do. I mean, could we, at some point, could you pull audio from Kristen's camera, or is that not
We
clear
could
enough?
actually pull that from hers. I don't know that we have it set up that way tonight,
But in the future,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
since we don't have a ref mic, I did, as our coin flip, I did add a little bit of a crowd mic tonight, so we'll be playing with that. So the Hornets have won the toss.
Trying to read
And
lips.
deferred to the second half, it looks like. That does look like the case. So we are just about ready. It is a deferred, so it'll be Valonia football to get things started. And Tyler, what I'm looking for here, obviously Valonia out there, I'm sure Coach Moppin wants to see it as well. Get this defense on the field and let them go to work. Get them off the field quickly, and let's see that offense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Gonna try to assert dominance early with your defense and kind of set the tone. Defense coming out first always helps to set the tone for the entire game if you can get a big stop right there. I will say one thing. It's a completely different night than it has been. It's a lot warmer than it was the first 2 games. I'm wondering how long it's going to take Carson Brister to come out of those long sleeves that he was wearing pregame. It's not like it's been the first 2 games.
No, it is significantly warmer. It is crazy that what is officially the 3rd week of the football season is actually the warmest night we've had so far all year long. Is again, and maybe it's just a Friday night thing. I don't know. Maybe we should go back to Thursday nights.
I had to change in. I had to make sure I brought shorts to change into after work today because I couldn't do the pants this week.
I bet. All right, as we get ready for our Ankles kickoff, Hornets about to make their way out. And here come your Hornets, led by those captains. And we are ready for football in the Hornets' nest. We say thanks to our friends over at Ankles. Carpet One Floor and Home, making your home beautiful for less for over 35 years. You find them at 10 Maumelle Curve Court in North Little Rock, 501-214-0495, AnklesCarpet1.com. All right.
Dude, I got the plasma big screen up here. I got to scoot over.
I meant to ask, how do you like the new setup?
It's nice.
Yeah.
I just got to, I got to scoot it further away from you, which in the grand scheme of things is just fine with me, It just put it there in the middle of us. But I can't see your computer, so I'll miss out on some of that stuff.
We can turn it that way if we need to.
That's fine. It's more important that you have all those names in front of you than me.
I can forward that to you if you just want to use your phone.
If I was a consummate professional like everybody, the other guys, on Saturdays and Sundays, I would have memorized Valonia's roster. But yeah,
they don't have them memorized either. You forget that. I promise.
I would. Maybe we need spotters in our ears. Is that what you're saying?
That's what they have. They have a spotter in their ear at all times. Hey, by the way, I want to welcome a new sponsor for this week. We have a Red Zone sponsor, Easy Haulin' Dumpster Rentals. I want to say thanks to Ben and his folks over at Easy Haulin' Dumpster Rentals for being the sponsor of our Red Zone. If you guys need a few extra yards of dumpster space, call our friends at Easy Haulin' Dumpster Rentals, 501-765-5908.
If you got to take out the trash, give them a call.
I actually personally used them last week. We've been cleaning out my mom's house, and we had a lot of stuff we had to get out of it. And Ben was just absolutely incredible. Dropped the stuff off. Told me I needed to be there. Then he called me, said, "Don't worry about it. You don't need to drive all the way over here." He got it in the driveway, had everything set up. I ordered a 15-yarder. He gave me a 20-yarder. So it was just easy and great service by those guys, a locally owned group, and they've done a fantastic job.
So I want to point out, you got Brackett down there with the kickoff duties again. He also has a holder. I don't think there's much wind, so maybe it's just because his kicking style does a little bit better with the holder.
There's Brackett with the Ankles kickoff, returnable from the 14-yard line. Out across the 20, 25, cuts inside and pulled down at the 28-yard line. Sorry about the camera there to get things started. I actually told Bobby to wait, but then I looked at him and said, "Go ahead and do it right now." I just completely contradicted everything I told Bobby in pregame. So,
but he's a guy that listens.
Yes, he did.
And follows instructions, so he did exactly as was asked.
I'm not used to having a rain cam operator right there. Hasn't been that way all season long. All right, so Valonia will get things started. Number 9, Colson Ashcraft, son of head coach, out on the field. Started quarterback for the Eagles. Ashcraft will read it, keep it, and he'll be hit, but a nice gain on the first play out to the 34-yard line. That's a gain of about 5 on the play.
A good patience shown there by Ashcraft. It kind of looked like it was dead in the water at the start, but he held it in there just long enough to pull it before Jalen Harris was able to get there and wrap them both up.
They're going to be reading a lot of 11 tonight, so we'll see what kind of ball game 11 and 30 on the ends have. Harwood, the running back, as they split their slot receivers, Ryder Froneberger, as well as Cooper Hansen. Ashcraft, high snap, pulls it down, keeps it, rush off the end. Patrick Ward with the sack as he drives him down into the turf.
Yeah, I think Patrick, it looked like that's who they were supposed to be reading because he came untouched and probably was the wrong read. Probably should have handed it right there because Patrick Ward was definitely eyeing Ashcraft right there to go make a big tackle.
So that's going to bring up A 3rd and long, 3rd down and 12.
It's definitely the first 2 plays you're looking for. Starting out on defense, get them behind the sticks, 3rd and 12. See if you can keep it going right here.
So they'll go 2 backs this time. Harwood as well as Hallie in the backfield. 3 receivers set. Ashcraft pulls down the snap. Harris coming off the edge. Gets around it, wants to go deep, threw it behind his, and a bound. Come on now.
They were both looking for the ball. He didn't even touch him, really. Their feet got tangled up, but they were looking for the ball.
Well, and that's one of those moments, Tyler, that that's a flag you keep in your back pocket because it's a bad throw, and you're rewarding a team for a bad throw on a ball that was behind the receiver. He wanted that post, whatever you want to call it, across the middle. Ball went to the right side of the field, and both players tried to turn that way and just got their feet tangled up.
Yeah, there was no pushing, no grabbing. But, I mean, I guess you're going to get it. They're going to give it to you more often than they're not whenever it looks like somebody gets knocked over for pass interference.
So it'll be an Acre Pharmacy first down for the Eagles. 1st and 10. So Harwood still in the backfield with Ashcraft. He split Hallie over to the near side of the field in the slot next to Jackson Ringgold.
The thing about that possession is you got to get some pressure back there and don't give them that much time to let it go in the first place.
Hornets will shift on defense. Now Ringgold in motion. They'll give it to Ringgold and all over him. Hornets knew that one was coming as Davian Jordan with the play in the backfield.
Yeah, it's a good play right there. And they adjusted to it kind of exactly how they wanted to and anticipated that. And you kind of had 2 guys coming off there. One just in case he kept it, and for the other guy in the backfield. So big tackle by Davian right there.
So 2nd and 11 now. Harwood and Hallie in the backfield. Ringgold here to the near side of the field. They'll split Hallie out. Ashcraft brings down the high snap. They want to set up a screen. Ringgold dropped it. Dropped by Ringgold. 3rd down and 11 for the Eagles.
Had he caught it, maybe he was going to find a little sliver out there to get north, but I don't know. There were a lot of black jerseys coming to that ball after he threw it.
So big 3rd down again. And we just talked about that, the ability to convert. Hornets have done a great job on 3rd down. I can't imagine we'll see much in the way of 4th down attempts out of this Valonia team.
If you can just keep from a pass interference this time, it should be all right.
So Ashcraft with backs on either side of him gets the snap. Looking, wants Ringgold. Instead, pressure, pushes him out of the pocket. Being chased down. Harris right in his face, throws that one up, tipped out of bounds. That'll bring up a 4th down for the Eagles.
So what Valonia has decided to do, talking about pressure on that last 3rd down, is they've got got those 2 running backs in the backfield, and they're sliding completely away from Jordan Harris and just double teaming with both of those running backs. They're sliding the entire offensive line away from him and just have 2-on-1 to make it hard on Jordan to get some pressure back there. So 2 running backs blocking him. He'll have to figure out how he's going to handle that.
So Ashcraft, the punter as well. Back to punt. Good snap. Kick is away. A good spiraling kick. Jackson going to let it bounce and now pick it up at the 17. Jackson looking for space. Spins off a man, dives forward. And the first Hornet possession will start at the 20-yard line.
He probably just picked it up a little bit too late. He picks it up a little sooner. He's got more space and doesn't immediately have to run west and east, and he can kind of get north and south. But he had more than enough room. I thought he was going to let it bounce out of bounds, and that's the last thing because now it would put you back 15-10.
I feel like he was waiting to see if it was going to take that weird angled bounce, and it never did. It was a great kick by Ashcraft. So Levi Warrior, as well as Jacob Henry in the backfield. Hampton split out wide.
So they're going straight man. Okay, now they're backing up.
And whistles before the play. We've got a PI roofing penalty. Going to be a motion penalty on the Hornets.
Yeah, pre-snap, they were trying to make it look like they were just going man with those safeties on the slot guys. Right before the snap, they dropped those guys back. I didn't figure it was something they were going to try and do too often.
By the way, Tyler, I don't know if you realize it, but you have a brand new headset on your head.
I do. I did notice it. Yeah, it's nice. Trying to keep all the other noise out. I still can't get you out of my head, though.
No, I'm in your head all the time. So 1st and 15 now. And they'll move Henry next to Warrior. Give it away to Jacob. Jacob trying to get to the edge, and he will be pulled down maybe a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
That was weird. Davian out there, who's at your slot, and he kind of stutter stepped and then ran like a little quick out. But they handed it, so I don't know if it was an RPO, but typically the RPO, you're looking to throw it opposite of the direction you're running so that you got guys blocking on the run side. So I don't know if that was a miscommunication on which way the run was going, but Davian could have helped out right there and blocked one of those linebackers.
2nd down, about 13. Faked it, looking, got Hampton. Hampton going to be hit as he crosses the 20 to the 22-yard line. Bring up a little more manageable 3rd down.
But I mean, there you go. You're getting behind the sticks already. We talked about it before we started. You have a 1st down run that loses you yards, and you can only get a few back on the 2nd down. So now you got 3rd and long. Doesn't make for a good statistic on the 3rd down category. They got one. I was about to say they have 1, 2. Now they have one. They had first off they had 1 too many. Now they have 1 too few. All right, now we're good. Hopefully they can get this play in.
Well, they reset the play clock. I don't know if there was an equipment issue or what there. That
maybe Bills got sent off, or Jackson. One of them got sent off, so they reset it for him.
Yeah, our official, you can see him. He stopped the clock and sent him off. Now Warrior wants to throw a little screen pass. Caught out across the 25, and going to mark him at the 27-yard line. Going to bring up a 4th down and 3.
What do you think, Steve? They going for it?
I think. Oh, we got an injured Eagle, so we're going to have some time to think about it. I think Maupin feels good enough here that he goes for this.
I think they can. I mean, you got Jackson Hampton out there. Just get a big body in between the guy. Run a slant like you did on 2nd down, but I don't know. I don't feel super comfortable throwing a contested ball on 4th down, but I do think they go for it.
Yeah, it looks like Bubba Johnson going to come back on the field too. Well, we've got Bubba and Henry going to be on the field if we stick with this formation. Give it to Bubba, let him pile his way forward here for a 1st down.
Who caught that ball?
I missed who caught that ball. I may be able to tell you in just a second. It might have been Jordan. I couldn't tell when he turned. That's why I never said the name or number, because I couldn't tell who it was.
Those numbers, they're too close. You can't tell them apart. And I don't know what's going on with this Valonia player, but he's...
I got a lot of people around him. Let's hope he's okay. Oh, we got a
grabbing the bag.
That's not good. Oh, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
I think Bills didn't have a mouthpiece because I think he just ran to the end zone and picked his mouthpiece.
That was Jacob Henry on that catch.
It was Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob Henry on the catch. No, that does not look like a good injury, I will say. Yeah, we can't show that. Just looking at, you feel for that young man. I can't see the number yet. But, that is an unfortunate injury. He has set up, so that's at least some good news.
Yeah, if it was that safety, it was 7, yep.
So that's going to be Brody Williams, the injured Eagle. And, well, maybe the cast isn't necessary. They do have him on his feet. That's a good sign. And he does look like, well.
He's definitely walking uncomfortably.
Yeah, watching that, I slow-moed it on my, when I went back on the stream itself. And yeah, that's a tough one there. Let's hope he's okay. Again, it's Brody Williams on his way off the field, so. And now, after the long delay, looks like the Hornets are going to go for this.
Oh, they got the Wildcat, the Wild Bubba. in the backfield.
Valonia will make some substitutions, attempt to anyway, as they get guys off the field.
Bubba's back there with Bryce Mooney and their Wildcat.
So 4th down. Johnson, right side, breaks a tackle. He's got a first down out across the 35 to the 36. That'll be an Acre Pharmacy first down for the Hornets.
Valonia defensive line, they're just kind of cutting the offensive lineman right there, trying to give their linebackers room to just roam and try and make plays. And they had a shot at Bubba in the backfield. He's just able to make a guy miss and get a big first down.
Jacob Henry back on the field. Bubba Johnson will stay on the field as well. Shift some guys around. Jackson now in the slot. Hampton on the outside. First and 10 Hornets. As Levi drops. Time, throws, got jump man out across midfield, falls forward to the 49-yard line. They'll mark him right there. Another Acre Pharmacy first down into Valonia territory.
Yeah, good open field tackle by Valonia right there, but Christian was just kind of standing there wide open, waiting for Levi to get through his progressions and get to him and throw it to him for an easy pitch and catch.
First and 10. An offense on the march here in the first quarter. Valonia punted on their first possession. Henry will motion out. Levi looks that way. Now screen pass too high for Hampton. Incomplete. Oh, my goodness.
Clinty got him one.
He did.
Whether that ball was complete or not, he's going to get him one. And Clinty Mop said that Clinty, he's just going to stay in 77 all year. He's not going to switch back and forth because I think, his home jersey, I think he could have worn the 53, but his away jersey, he had to wear the 77. I think Mop said he's decided he's just going to go 77 for the rest of the year. Gotta get.
Now Levi hands it away. Valonia in the backfield, but Henry breaks free and does a good job getting something out of that. What a late addition to the pile.
Clint, he got a little payback on that one. Hey, now you can't. He's asking, you kind of did the same thing to his guy last time. It's just gonna come back to you, but he's gonna go out. He's gonna get himself another one here in a little bit too. I'll credit Bubba right there. Bubba kind of got beat off the snap, but he didn't give up, and he kept trying to block his guy, even though he had his hands on Henry right there, and he's able to break him free just for a little bit.
So 3rd down and 8. Warrior drops, looking, pressure right up the middle, escapes to his right, throws deep, coming back for it. Oh, just couldn't lay out for it. Was Bubba Johnson.
If he could have got a little bit more, if he wasn't having to run just as far, could have got a little bit more on it, Bubba would have been able to pull that one down. But they're blitzing. They're sending 5 just about every time, so we're going to have to win those one-on-one battles on the offensive line in pass protection. And they held it for a count or two, but they've given up a little late pressure, and Levi's had to get out of the pocket.
So 4th down and 8. We'll see if Levi stays in to go for this. It looks like he will, as they'll line up in a pistol formation. Warrior takes a snap, looking, pressure up the middle again, going deep, got his man ahead of everybody. Throw was short and incomplete. No flags on the play, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, face guard legal now, and Christian didn't have to try and come back for it. Had it been thrown a little bit shorter, Christian would have had to try and come back for it, and then you might have got a flag, but he just jumped for it, and it's going to be tough to get it. Now, I know we got one earlier with their feet getting tangled up, so, I don't know that it was too much different than that last one, but in the grand scheme of things, Levi, if he lays it out there a little bit further, it's going to be an easy catch and touchdown.
Yeah, you got to think they'll come back to that one. A timing piece there. Levi just got to put a little bit more on it, and that's 6 all night long. So the Valonia offense back on the field.
So on 4th and 8, yeah, I don't know. You don't have to go for the touchdown.
They had it, just didn't get the throw there. So Ashcraft back on the field, takes the snap. Quarterback draw all the way, and he'll be dumped.
The ball came out, but I think Valonia got on top of it. Yeah, Davian Jordan poked it out when he wrapped him up, but one of those offensive linemen fell on it, I think.
Yeah, I saw the beanbags come out at the last second. But I never actually saw the ball.
Just the way Davian made the tackle, it made me wonder if it's coming out because that hand came right across where he was carrying the ball.
So second down. It'll be 2nd and 11. Ashcraft, Hunter Harwood in the backfield for the Eagles. Ashcraft drops, looking, throwing, tipped, and picked, intercepted. The one-handed deflection. That's Bubba Johnson inside the 45 to the 44-yard line, and a big turnover for the Hornet defense.
It's like the Hornets had about 3 chances at picking that one off, and Bubba picks it out of the air with one hand. A big play right there. Good stop defensively. Get your offense the ball, and hopefully go down and put some points on the board now. Bubba out there like he's playing corner, catching the ball with one hand.
I wasn't sure he was going to get to it, and then he just kind of tipped it to himself. It's a great play by Bubba. So the offense right back out on the field, basically where the last drive ended. Maybe gained about 5 yards out of the exchange. Levi with the snap, looks left, got his man, caught by Isaac Warrior. Warrior trying to break tackles all the way down inside the 30-acre pharmacy, first down.
Just about. Isaac had that nice little spin move right after the catch to get outside and just gave up 1 foot, and he was able to get him down by that foot. He almost broke free.
See our friends, of course, over at Acre Family Pharmacy. 1900 Club Manor Drive, Suite 101. Now Levi drops, looking, wants to go right. Jackson makes the catch, spins off the initial tackle. Nice little move in the hole. But got ankle grabbed at the 28-yard line.
77, the guy he made miss first, is the guy that ended up grabbing his foot and stopping him after he made 2 or 3 other guys miss.
Second and 9. Hornets quickly back to the line of scrimmage. They'll snap it quickly again. This time they throw it right side, caught and dumped at the 25 is Jackson Hampton.
Same play, just a different receiver that time, and still unable to get a ton, just a couple yards.
As good as the jerseys are, I gotta say the gloves and shoes by Christian Jackson. You can't miss those hands at all out there, pink and green, respectively.
Yeah, Jackson Hampton has the neon pink, Christian Jackson the neon green.
Now 3rd down and 6. Warrior drops, looks. Johnson nearly had to make another one-handed catch. That one a little hot from Warrior.
Yeah, you just gotta make it an easy. He's got blockers out in front of him, which, with how quickly you had a couple of the Eagles back there after he didn't catch it, I don't know that he was gonna have a whole lot of time anyway. But 3 plays in a row, we've kind of thrown it behind the line of scrimmage and hoping your guys can go and make a play. Probably gonna have to do something a little bit different on 4th down here.
3:15 to go in our first quarter of play. Warrior looks, got his man, caught by Warrior. Took a big hit, but makes the catch. That'll be an Acre Pharmacy first down at the 12.
Isaac climbing up the ladder a little bit, bringing that one down and taking a hit, holding on to it. Good play by the young man.
And that connection could get going. This could be a very lethal offense, especially if they get that running game as part of the deal. So we'll see if they go running game here. Valonia runs a guy on late. They do hand it away to Johnson. Johnson trying to get the corner. He's got the edge. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And they're going to mark him at the 1, but we've also got a PI roofing.
Did it fall
penalty.
out, though?
Maybe so. Nope. It's
no,
gonna
he's
be a
throwing
penalty.
it. Is he going to call a hold?
Maybe a hold on Jackson.
That's the only thing I could expect right there.
As we await our white hat. It's going to be a hold on the Hornets. So back them up 10.
I don't know where the outside judge is stepping it off. He was stepping off the 10 from the original spot, not from the spot of the foul.
Wrong league. We don't do that here. So it'll be 1st and 10. They did get the first down, then take back 10.
First and what, 12?
Or is it 1st and 12? You're right. Yeah, 1st and 12 from the 14. Jackson, your motion man. They fake the pitch to him, hand it inside. Johnson breaks the tackle. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. Bubba Johnson into the end zone. Touchdown, Hornets.
Love to see the running game working a little bit. And he had a guy that tried to wrap him up early, and he just kind of slid off the back of him and just kind of kept running. I don't know, it's like he just went down the slide, and Bubba just kept on running.
Score a touchdown, Hornet fans, and head to American Pie Pizza, 9709 Maumelle Boulevard, for the best pizza in Central Arkansas. Kids eat free on Mondays, so be sure to grab a Pizookie or two with the money you saved. Order online, AmericanPiePizza.net, or give them a call at 501-758-8800.
On the attempt to point after, number 32, Bryce Mooney.
Mooney on for the Kids Being Kids Therapy extra point. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it is good. And with 2:41 to go in our first quarter, Hornets lead this one 7-0.
Woo! Finally, it took a couple possessions, but you're able to get there. And a big turnover by the defense. Defense kind of gets you kick-started right there, gives you a short field to work with. The run game starts to work a little bit for you as well. That's what you like to see. It's been a quick first quarter so far with just 2:40 left. Not a whole lot of scoring, but we'll see if they can keep moving offense and defense. As long as you can keep playing like you have, it'll be all right.
Yeah, really, you go back to the first drive for Valonia, aided by the penalty. They really didn't do anything other than that. And then the Hornets stalled out on their drive, but then the interception by Bubba Johnson flipped that script, and then he gets to pay dirt as well with the American Pie Pizza touchdown. So it's all Bubba Johnson here in our first quarter.
Bubba. It's a guy that, you expect big things from. We expected a lot from him last year, and he's kind of banged up early and everything, and came on kind of late. But, he's been healthy so far this year, and you hope he can just keep growing, getting better every game.
Number 24, Ryan Beal.
Bracket on to kick.
No holder this time.
And our Eagles kickoff is going to be returnable from the 10. That's number 3, Malachi Chisholm. Flags fly, runs into his own man, and hammered down at the 31-yard line by Patrick Ward.
Patrick said, if you're not going to go down, I'm going to get you down. There's a blindside block for sure, but this flag sitting on the 0 right there behind the white hat, I feel like that flag flew. There's a lot of F's right there. That flag flew before, unless he just anticipated it. There may be 2 both on the Eagles right here. I'm sure the one around the 20 that was the blindside block will be the one that gets accepted.
Oh, without a doubt.
Oh,
Goodness
yeah.
gracious.
Yeah.
Number 6, Cooper Hansen, took his opportunity for Valonia. Wow.
I think he pointed. What? Okay, there we go. He pointed the wrong way. How can we have a blindside block whenever I guess technically. Oh, look, now he got flags on both of them. He confused us too, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, you pushed it wrong. You still got it on the wrong. There you go. So they'll back this one up as Valonia will start this possession from the 11-yard line. Look, Andy's solo for the first time this season.
And so far he's done great. I've seen some replays.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's wild. At least you could show them.
That's right. We can name them later. They'll hand this one away. Harwood, nice little move in the hole as he gets out across the 15-yard line.
I think it's Bubba just let him sneak out of there. Not Bubba, Jacob that just let him sneak out of there. But you get a team backed up like this because they have a pretty blatant penalty. You got to keep them back here so your offense has good field position again. Don't let them out of the shadow of their goalpost.
Second down. It'll be second and about 6. I got 5.5 counting sticks and yard markers. I'll hand it away. Nope. Yep. Gave it away. Harwood about drug his quarterback with him. Out of bounds. And maybe a yard on the play. Out across the 20. Or no, sorry, the 17-yard line.
That's when you know you got a patient quarterback whenever we can't even decide what's about to happen all the way from up here. Handing it, not handing it. Handing it, no. Does he? I don't know. Somebody has it.
I thought for sure he'd given it away, and then he got drug half a yard. Now the football's rolling around.
There's a ghost out there.
Something. I didn't know the wind was that strong tonight.
The flag hadn't moved a centimeter since the game started.
And if it does, it's just going to feel like a blow dryer down there. It is warm. All right, we'll try this again. Third down. Now we'll call it 5, 4.5. Show
Jay
some
will.
pressure. Ashcraft keeps it, being chased, throws it picked, intercepted, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. Touchdown, Hornets has
12.
Okay. As Darius Glover with the touchdown.
Turn around so we can see your number, young man. We got to figure out who to give credit to.
Well, all I saw was the 2, and I wanted to say Q. I was like, Q-Top don't play secondary. None that I'm aware of.
But he just undercut that route. Ashcraft kind of gets it out late because he's getting chased, and Glover just takes advantage of it, cuts it underneath it, takes it in for the easy pick 6. He had some guys in front blocking Ashcraft for him, too.
Our kids being kids therapy extra point. Mooney steps in. Low snap, dribbled, picked up, put up, and he got it. Wow.
Whoever came, for Valonia came off the edge, he kind of hitched up a little bit right there and didn't lay out the block. He didn't even have to lay out. He just could have kind of stood there, but I guess he got worried he was about to run into the kicker and get a flag.
This interception here by Glover just steps right in front of that at the 26-yard line. Pay dirt. And that is the first defensive touchdown of the season for the Hornets.
And Ashcraft, he tried to come up and make a play, but he had Jacob Henry and who was that other blocker? Baker, maybe 14, that kind of got in his way. And he's like, all right, well, I guess I'm not going to make this tackle. See if we can name that one.
I didn't see the stinger on the front end of that one, so I was about to say, hey, fix that. Hey, look, we all make mistakes.
That's what we started that possession with 2:30 left. Now we have 1:30 left, and we're scored 7 more.
Let's get ready for our Ackles kickoff. Bracket back out there for the 3rd time here in the first quarter with 1:37.
Kicking off for the Hornets, number 87, Nate Brackett.
I'm also learning right now that our crowd mic, while great, is way too close to the band director.
Tell you, I heard him tell us that it was the Tuba's 190th birthday today.
I heard that. Brackett with the kick. Returnable from around the 11 across the 25, 30, 35, trying to hide amongst some other Eagles and now pushed out of bounds. That's where the Eagles will start this possession. Let's go down to the 3rd member of our crew, Mr. Jake Hall. What you got, Jake?
The excitement over here on the sideline is a mile high. I don't know if you could force Coach Mopper not to smile right now. He is so excited after that nice pick 6. And, hey, that's exactly what good pressure on the quarterback will get you, a turnover.
All right. Appreciate you, Jake. Great job. Jake Hall, our sideline reporter for the season. A little extra edition here on the Maumelle Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports. So.
Bubba's also got, or not Bubba, Coach has also got Junior down there helping call the plays next to him, too.
Hey, that's always fun. Now Ashcraft, this is quarterback draw all the way. Clenny was waiting on him, but
the ball come in
ball's
again.
out, and Hornets may have it. Clenny was going for a ride, but he may have raked that ball out of there.
Christian
and
Jackson
it is Hornet football.
Who stands up with it? I think, was that Jacob that stood up with it? Yeah, that's Jacob that came out of the pile with it, I think. I don't know who popped it out, but all I saw was a lot of people converging onto the ground to try and return it. All right, offense. Now you get another shot. Can we put up 21 points before the end of the half, or end of the quarter? They're going to go for it right here. Big turnover, go deep.
This is when you should. Henry to the left side of Warrior. Instead, they're going to hand it to him. Henry, they may not need a big throw.
Oh,
Out across
okay,
the
no
30,
flag.
25, cuts inside. Jacob across the field inside the 10. Drug down at the 9-yard line. And that's an Acre Pharmacy first down. Another big play for the Hornets.
Got scared for just a little bit there, kind of at the point of attack that we were going to get a holding call. One of the Eagles wanted it. He threw his hands up looking at the ref, but no yellow on the field.
So first and goal into the Easy Haulin Dumpster Rentals red zone. Go the Hornets. Warrior drops, fakes the handoff.
Oh, there you
just
go,
enough.
Jacob.
Warrior may have room inside the 5. Runs a man over and is hammered at the 2-yard line.
Ooh. Jacob got just enough on
Yes.
that blitzer to save Levi's life because he was coming for him. But Jacob might get a break right here. He's probably a little tired.
Yeah. You're right. I saw as soon as it happened, it's like, oh no, and a great job by Henry to throw that shoulder out there at just the perfect time.
Just flashes across, gets just enough on him, and he wasn't ready for it either, so he got himself a pancake.
So Bubba Johnson and Henry in the backfield next to Warrior. And Warrior keeps it, pumps it, runs up the middle, give him 6. Levi Warrior with the touchdown. Hornets extend the lead to 20-0 with 2.6 seconds left in our first quarter, sorry.
Couldn't see our 2 receivers down here because I'm looking at our flat screen,
That was
actually our
two.
curved screen. But I don't know if it was a pump where that you didn't have a guy running the right route, or he just decided to pull it down because he didn't like how it looked out there and just tucked it and run. But either way, it works out for them. And they end up with 20, hopefully 21 on the board before the end of the first quarter when we didn't score up until, 2.5 minutes left? It's a touchdown less than every minute.
So Mooney on for a kid's bounces that one in and got it up, and it is good.
It's like we're just skipping rocks back there now.
Now I understand why Coach Watson's here watching this team play and is an analyst for this team, because he's just watching his future shortstop or second baseman out there field ground balls every snap.
Filled in one hoppers.
Yes.
He was supposed to be up there with his Sylvan Hills. He's decided he's better. He's better as an on-the-field coach.
Yeah, I thought he told me he was going to be down there, but I thought I saw him at field level earlier as well. So, and I don't see him in the coach's booth at the end. So.
He's just roaming.
Hey, what goes perfect with football? Pizza, of course. Score a touchdown with your watch party and grab a pie from American Pie. Might also suggest an entire tub of their spicy chicken cheese dip. And then finish it off with a Pizookie. Order online at AmericanPiePizza.net or call them at 501-758-8800. American Pie Pizza, 9709 Maumelle Boulevard.
So when you say tub, what do you mean an entire tub?
Like a whole tub.
I mean,
I'll bathe
bathtub?
in it. That's right. I will
Okay,
bathe in it.
interesting. That's not a picture I want in my head.
You're welcome.
But I guess if that's what you asked for, right? The customer comes first.
That's right. I don't know how they're going to deliver. That would be the interesting part.
Maybe they'll just give you multiple 5-gallon buckets of it and just
pour
tell
it
you to pour it yourself. Yeah.
So bracket on for our Eagles kickoff. He almost ran into the motion man. Returnable, about the 17, maybe 18, across the 30. A little bit of space, 35, 40. Makes some more room. And he's out across the 40 to the 44-yard line. And that's going to be the last play of our first quarter. After a quarter of play, your Hornets lead this one big, 21-0. We'll be back with the second quarter here on the Maumelle Sports Network right after this.
Come see us today at American Pie Pizza. Enjoy our pizza by the slice daily from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Or catch one of our daily specials like $2 Tuesdays and get $2 off any large pizza. Are wings more your thing? Monday nights are Wingtastic Mondays. So get all the wings you can eat for just 69 cents a wing. And don't forget about the incredible cheese dip. Then to finish it all off, be sure to grab a Pizookie or one of our other amazing desserts. So head over to 9709 Maumelle Boulevard and let our friendly staff serve you today. Call ahead at 501-758-8800 or order online at www.ampiepizza.com. Live free and eat pizza at American Pie Pizza.
And we're back here with Maumelle Hornets football starting the second quarter. Steve has left me again, so just like at Sylvan Hills, I'm on my own for a little bit. He's running back, but he said he would make it back, but that we know good and well that he cannot move that fast. So he's not back yet, but I think he's going to be back for the first play. There he is. He didn't stretch, so if he's hurting or something, you know, we'll hear about it.
Honestly, I was more worried about the fact I don't have the belt on. I thought everybody was going to see my.
Hey, look at that. They paused for
Look,
you.
they were
For you to
waiting
catch
on
your
me.
breath.
So we'll wait a moment here before we start our second quarter. They didn't have the ball spotted right. I had to move
Well,
it.
they had to turn it the other way. It looked like you just flipped it. Sorry, no. I had it pointing the other way. Okay.
So Ashcraft.
Uh-oh.
And running back fell down. Still
He definitely
gave it to him. That was in and in. Now they do blow it dead.
Okay. He point. Well, I saw the white hat point. I didn't know if he was pointing like Ashcraft still had it while he was on the ground, or if he was saying he was down. He said he was down, which I think he was.
Yeah. Not sure how he wasn't.
I mean, how do you? That's the question. How do you determine who has possession of the ball during the mesh like that? Because if he had stood up before he had possession, he still would have been up. But
Would that not be the same thing as like two guys with it on the out of bounds line? They're both touching it. So technically, if one's out of bounds, one's in
then
bounds.
they're both out of bounds. Yeah. They both have possession at the same time.
I guess so. Now this time, Ashcraft got a man caught.
Oh,
bad
gosh.
tackling. Breaks a few. Now Brackett cleans it up down there as he yanks him down.
I think you had two guys that were trying to come and blow him up, and then he just kind of makes a miss. They hit each other.
You know,
Brackett, good hustle from his defensive line position to come make a tackle downfield.
Cooper Hansen was the one with that big blindside block earlier. So maybe you got a couple guys out there just trying to get a little payback.
Yeah. I think he threw a little that thing was just kind of floated up there for him. It about got tipped, but he had to throw it up and over because he had defensive linemen converging that were getting ready to knock it down.
10:52 to play in our first half. First down here for the Eagles as they look left side, bobbled but caught this time again. And now driving his feet, still doesn't go down. And out of bounds. Another Acre Pharmacy first down as they find Hansen again.
I think that maybe was Jackson Hampton out at corner right there, and he's got to stick to his lane and keep his contain right there. He's the corner. He can't let him outside of him. And he runs past his block, no problem. Nobody really gets a hand on him, but he runs too far inside and gives up the outside edge and then able to break it and get another first down.
Hampton off the field.
The only reason I think it was Hampton was because of the gloves.
Can't miss him. You can't get away with anything when you wear hot pink gloves. This time they'll go to Harwood up the middle. Harwood dancing around, finding a seam. And he's going to be very close to another Acre Pharmacy first down here for the Eagles.
Yeah, second quarter, Vilonia's starting to figure something out a little bit. Offensively, had a couple things working for them, a couple passes that maybe should have had some earlier tackles. Bringing London back in on the interior.
Yeah, Jalen back on the field too. I think he'd seen enough of that, put a little bit more of that muscle in the middle.
If they're going to run the ball, we're going to get some big boys, which we had big boys, but nobody as big as Jalen.
No, they're going to bring the bigger boys out. So Ashcraft, Harwood beside him. Fakes it, sort of. Takes it up the middle. Scoots across a man and ducks under the tackle.
He went all kinds of different directions on that one.
Now, London came out immediately and made an impact on that play. And so second down. Looks like they should be third down and a yard.
And Jordan Harris about blew that one up. He gets back there pretty quick, like we've grown used to. They're just able to slip up underneath him.
So third down. Ashcraft with Harwood next to him. Motion man is Halley. Ashcraft steps up. Got a flag on the play. Ashcraft may have been down. Yeah, I thought his left knee was down.
Kind of looks like the fake slide. Who was that? Kenny Pickett that did with Pitt? I'm going to fake take a knee.
Yeah, we got a PI roofing penalty. This is going to be against Valonia.
Can only imagine. Formation penalty probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right on the snap, so that'll back him up.
Now the fake knees, and you got Patrick Mahomes lowering his shoulder over on the sideline whenever he's about to lose the game.
Yes.
Come on now. Because, he's going to get hit at some point now and the excuse is going to be, you ran over that guy. How was I supposed to know you were actually going to step out this time?
Absolutely.
You can't take advantage of the rules that are there to keep you safe and run somebody over.
Yep.
Then you're just asking to get hit.
And at that level, those guys want to hit the quarterbacks
yeah.
as much as they can, and they're going to take that extra chance. So 3rd down and 6 now, along 5. Whistles. And delay a game, or do we not get a clock reset? Let's see.
There wasn't any timeouts.
Yep, delay a game. So another PI roofing penalty. Back them up 5 more, and it went from 3rd and a yard to 3rd and 11.
That is not how you wanted this drive to go. After you've been successful, move the ball, get down in the red zone, 3rd and 1, you get the first down. Now it's 3rd and 11. That's you put the brakes on and put it in reverse real quick right there. Series of unfortunate events, if you will.
3rd and 11. Ashcraft being chased right up the middle comes the blitz. Just got rid of it. No chance he's going to get enough on that as he's being chased down by Jordan Harris and Davian Jordan. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 11.
Yeah, Davian flushed him out of the pocket, and Jordan Harris had both those running backs blocking him again, and he's having to fight through 2 guys. But once Ashcraft had to roll out because of Davian, Jordan's able to turn on the Jets, chase him down, and get a hit on the quarterback.
With the coverage for the Hornets.
It's a big swing for both teams if Valonia ends up coming up on this with nothing.
Fourth down. Hornets showing pressure right up the middle. They bring it. Ashcraft drops, looking good coverage downfield. Ashcraft has to scramble. They dive for him, can't get him, and finally drugged down. And it's going to be where it depends on where they spot it.
He's spotting it past it, or at least on it.
Right on the stick. Let's see.
Brackett just a half step too late not to give him the first down. It definitely looks like he's got it. Just from, I'm about to say, he's on the line.
Boy, tough one there. And Acre Pharmacy first down on 4th down. You had a chance to get off the field altogether there and give Ashcraft credit as he found just enough of a seam to escape that pressure.
Dude, there's a pretty good chance Ashcraft fumbles the ball again, how he's running around carrying that thing. It ain't tucked anywhere. What's that, the loaf of bread? Isn't that what they call it?
Yep. Jake Hall says it was should have been spotted shorter. They go to Harwood here. Harwood inside the 15 to the 13-yard line.
Big 4th down play. There's add another one to the 4th down percentage defensively. That's already not a great number for you.
Yeah, and that's a tough one because you had them stop. It was great coverage downfield and a good blitz. You just kind of got a little too deep and let Ashcraft fall underneath it and found his way to a first down on 4th and 11.
That's why those interior guys are just as important on a pass rush as anything. You can't get too wide and give them an opening.
2nd down and 7. Snap brings it down. Harwood gets it. And that's not Harwood. They go up the middle. Sorry, it is Harwood.
It's not Harwood. It is Harwood. It's.
I thought I saw a 30 is what threw me off.
Davian Jordan really good slicing in and getting in there for a tackle for a loss. Getting through that gap, making a big tackle.
By the way, I had the stream up on my phone, and then I realized that I'm also talking to Jake on the phone still. So he's been listening to probably
the game.
Double the game on us down there. Sorry about that, Jake.
He's just been cussing you down there.
As Valonia's made their way into the Easy Haul and Dumpster Service red zone. Looking. Ashcraft still. Nice move. Got away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. As Ashcraft gets the touchdown. A nifty little run.
Yeah, he has nowhere to go, nowhere to throw the ball, but the middle of that line opens again. You got to stay in your lanes so that he can't do that, and he's hurt you twice with that now. Just tucking it and running after you've covered everybody. I mean, everybody was blanketed right there. He had no chance to throw anywhere. His only option was to tuck it and try and go somewhere.
Yeah, it looked like we had a guy that had him, and it was just enough of a little pump fake and then a hesitation, and he was able to get around him. And so now the kids being kids therapy, extra point. Good snap, good hold. Not a good kick. That one's not even close. And so with 5:38 to go in our first half, Hornets lead at 21-6.
Wasn't the best kick there. Let's see if maybe the kickoff's a little bit better. will be the first time we see the kickoff team for Vilonia.
So before our Ackles kickoff, let's go down and see what our guy Jake Hall has for us down on the sideline. Looks like he's actually hanging out down there kind of in the huddle.
Tell him to get in Valonia's camera, too, and be a part of their stream.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Jake.
All right. I can tell. No, if you haven't been able to tell, the defensive line, they're kind of once the offensive linemen are just letting them go on the outside, and it's just letting the quarterback step up in the pocket, and then he's got all those open lanes to run in the middle. And just like you said, there's been excellent coverage from the Hornets on most of their defensive drives so far, and they're giving them no other choice but to scramble. And when you give them all those open lanes to run, it's going to be a field day. I'm sure that's what Coach Bob is about to talk about right now. I'm trying to stay close. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm staying close to this tent where they're watching film so I can pick up on some of the coach lingo they're throwing out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like Jake's just hanging out in the huddle down there. All right, great job, Jake. We'll let you go back to being our spy.
All right, thanks.
So our Ackles kickoff returnable here for the Hornets. Looking for space across the 45-yard line, and Valonia puts a stop to Jumpman's return right there. And that's where the offense will take the field.
Good return by Christian Jackson right there. And still no Marshawn Wiley. Talked to Coach pregame. He said he's close, right? He's going to have a whole nother. Now he gets 2 more weeks with the bye week coming up next week, but they expect him to kind of be back and healthy for him first game of conference. So nothing that's going to be lingering with him too long, it doesn't seem like, but just give him one more game, kind of get himself all the way healthy so he's ready full bore come BB.
So 5:27 to go in our first half. Hornets with a 21-6 lead. Warrior hands this one away, and nothing there. I think that's Qtoff, and it is.
It just converged quickly on the interior right there.
I don't care how little Qtoff is. That was not a hole he was going to squeeze through.
There was not much for him on that one.
I want to say thanks again to our penalty flag sponsor, PI Roofing and Construction, your roof leak detective, 6109 Remount Road in North Little Rock, 501-707-3548. Bubba Johnson back in at running back. Now Jackson, your motion man. They'll pitch it to Jackson. Jackson following Johnson. A little bit of a save. Oh, is that a face mask? Boy, he was yanked down.
He must have had him in the shoulder pads because he spun a circle.
Jackson not complaining, so.
I think he just got a good grab on him. He just made it look a lot worse than it was.
Great shot there from our field cam. As I said, we got our fly cam back, so Kristen running around down there. I guess it's more comfortable. I did tell Tanner over on the Sylvan Hills crew that, if Kristen didn't want to wear it, he could wear it, and I don't think he's gonna get it.
I can only imagine that it's just better. She ain't got to carry stuff right. You ain't got to pick stuff up, and you can just walk around freely.
Fake this one to Henry. Oh, tough throw. That's a tough one to Bubba.
Yeah, Bubba didn't have a chance at that one. It was going to be hard. He was kind of running, and you had 2 guys running after him. Bubba was going to have to make a couple guys miss, but just a tough throw to try and squeeze that in there. Even though it's a short throw, just because it's short doesn't mean it's an easy one to get to him in the right spot.
That's a ball that's just both of them with the way that they were angled towards each other. That's a really tough ball to put in a catchable spot. Now 4th down and 4 for the Hornets. And we got a whistle and a flag. And this is going to make the 4th down a little longer. And it will be a all-starter formation issues. We can't hear, but same.
I think it wasn't set yet, maybe.
Okay. So they'll back it up 5. It'll be 4th down and 9 now. And we saw Valonia cause themselves some trouble with some flags and get into a 4th and long and get out of it. We'll see if the Hornets can do the same thing here.
Levi going to tuck and run this one just like Ashcraft?
Hey.
If it works.
Yeah, last 4th down we decided to go for it all. We'll see if we do that again. They are going to throw. Pressure coming. Got Jackson, but threw it behind him. He had Hampton, but the ball was delivered a little bit behind him. Ball's incomplete, and that'll be a turnover back to Vilonia.
Yeah, if he leads him at 24, he's going to run himself out of the play, but he ends up running himself right into where that ball ended up and almost picked it off, which for Vilonia, probably glad he didn't. He wants to pick it off, but just in the grand scheme, they're going to get a little better field position now that he didn't.
Yeah, Ryan Deal is the man in coverage there. And so Ashcraft, maybe a little more confidence here on this possession after the touchdown drive, and a drive they really kind of sliced and diced this Maumelle defense on, so the defense can stiffen back up here. Harwood, boy, doing a good job finding space, and you know, we talked about it a minute ago with Jake, but Tyler, you know, what's the counter here? You're getting good pressure, but it's almost like the pressure's hurting you each time.
Yeah, it's just a lot of over pursuing. You're moving too fast defensively and not letting the game come to you. You're trying to go get it, and then Valonia's just making you pay for it and cutting off of your aggressiveness and cutting behind you. So just defensively over pursuing to the ball, and then they're just getting behind you, and then there's nobody left. You got to make sure you stay in your lanes and do your job and expect the guy behind you to do his job too.
So 2nd and 6. Ashcraft will give it away to Harwood. Boy, he was met, but keeps moving. And that's enough for an Acre Pharmacy first down to the 35-yard line. I said Harwood. That was actually 24. That was Ryan Dill on that carry.
That's a strong run by him right there. You know, he really got met about a yard after a yard gain, and he kept his feet moving and kept it going to first down.
Brought down by Jacob Henry.
You're just going to keep trying to run the ball against you right now if you can't show you can stop it yet.
I'm going to need Will Watkins to explain to me what 1.67 quarters is. And this, nope, Dill did not get it. Ashcraft kept it. Ashcraft looking for the corner. And, oh, big hit, and, oh.
It was close.
It was close.
He just not throwing nothing. They're getting him.
Coach took a shot over there, too, on
yeah,
that
he
play.
did. He popped back up. He's good, though. That was a close one. I think he was probably out of bounds, but they let him play and run through it.
Our official reached for that flag and then changed his mind.
Maybe he thought Coach took a little bit. He took enough of the brunt of the hit to kind of make it okay.
So we're going to get an Ackles timeout.
And looks like Coach Ashcraft wants to talk to the White Hat more so than talk to his team. Here he comes.
Yeah, White Hat didn't want anything to do with it initially.
Nah, I don't know.
And not going to have anything to do
with it.
No,
he told him, Coach, didn't call it. It's good. Go on. That's, all right, well, I guess.
I thought we were going to get it, but, hey, we'll take it after the PI call back on our first possession. Maybe that's a –
And I think it's one of those things, too, where he's been running the ball all day. He's lowered his shoulder, and he's hit guys like, you know, there's a difference, right? And a quarterback that's run the ball, he's been physical, and he's tried to run through guys, and then a quarterback who's done everything he can to avoid getting hit as well. And you don't want, just like we mentioned it with Patrick Mahomes, you don't want defenders to have to start guessing if a guy's going to step out of bounds or not. So if you're going to be physical first, then you have to expect the defense to be able to be physical with you afterwards. So it's just something where you got to choose which side of the coin you need to be on and just make sure that you're comfortable with whichever side you chose.
A couple of quick updates for you across our networks over on the Sylvan Hills Sports Network. They've got 5:35 to go in the first half. Sylvan Hills just scored to make it 33-0.
Shoo.
The Bears continue rolling. Ashcraft, pump fake, pressure. Oh, he got a shot, but he got the ball off. Oh, man, his receiver couldn't quite run under it as he was looking for number 4 on that play, Jackson Ringo.
That's 2 plays, 2 big hits on Ashcraft. And they've been getting closer and closer. I'm waiting for an actual sack to finally happen. He's getting rid of it just in time, or he's making a guy miss just in time, but they're close every time. And he's starting to feel it a little bit.
Probably our best game, at least across the networks, which should be the most competitive one down at Lakeside. Robinson in battle with Lakeside right now. Robinson leads that one with 1.5 minutes to go in the first half, 14-6.
At PA Live, are they in West Monroe or no?
Yes.
They are? So, I mean, I don't know about that one, but.
They got a ball game going down there right now. West Monroe leads at 10-6. Somebody just scored, though.
False start, I think.
And we are going to get a PI roofing penalty.
How long of a drive is that? How's Will feeling?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a long drive. And we get to do it next week, too. It gets even longer next week.
Where do they
So West Monroe this week, which was roughly, a 2.5-ish hour drive. And then they're at Highland Park in Dallas next week.
Oh, yeah. You already made that. They not go to Highland Park last year? Or they went somewhere?
They went a couple years ago. They went to, Tennessee last year. And
I knew they had been there. Highland Park's not going to make the return trip?
I guess not. So that was a PA touchdown, I believe. I don't even know. Ashcraft, little sidearm throw. That one incomplete.
Man, I can't get over it. You can't see it in the camera. Maybe Kristen can get it, but Coach Moppin and Junior out there screaming and yelling at the team. He's doing all his hand signals, and Junior's just right next to him, throwing his hands, doing the same thing. Look at him. Yeah,
you got to get that. So what happened in the PA game is West Monroe had a touchdown, about an 80-yarder. And the running back got to right at the goal line, reached the ball out, and lost it through the back of the end zone, and a touchback back to PA. So PA down 10-6 right now in West Monroe.
Yeah, that's something. If Kristen can get it, Coach Moppin, is going to love to be able to see that when he goes back and watches this.
Valonia with another Ackles timeout. And that is good. It's almost like they're in sync, too, when they're doing it. You can tell Junior been watching Dad down there coaching. That's good stuff.
And he's right in the middle of the huddle. That's a kid that you already know whenever he gets up to middle school, junior high, high school, his football IQ is going to be second to none.
Absolutely.
When he gets, I always talk about coaches' kids always kind of know what's going on before everybody else because they've been doing it just like Junior is since they were born. And he's in there listening to these huddles on Friday night, and I'm sure he's in meetings sometimes because I know they get dropped off over here after school sometime, and I'm sure they're watching film and stuff with the team and in meetings and everything. So they're a part of it since they've been born. Coach Moppin wouldn't have it any other way.
So Valonia back on the field on 4th down from the 35-yard line. Ashcraft. It's the snap. Pressure coming. They throw it right side. Had Harwood open, but left it short and incomplete. And that'll be a turnover on downs. Hornet offense back out on the field.
Yep, somebody's got to do their job. And I think Jordan Harris just came off and he was patting his chest like, that's me. So he knows as soon as that ball was thrown, he turned and saw who it was. He's like, oh, okay, I got to make sure I check those guys as they're coming out of the backfield. Just make sure. I know we get excited trying to get to the quarterback, but it can't mean we can let anybody run free.
But it's good to see Jordan recognizing that. Obviously we watch the growth and of him as he continues to learn the game of football and actually get to play it at this level. And so good to see him at least recognizing the things that the mistakes that he can clean up.
It's definitely what it looked like in their communication from what I could tell. He was saying, that's me, Coach.
Warrior, Henry in. Go over the middle. Hampton makes the catch. Broke a tackle, trying to break another sandwich down at the 45-yard line, but an Acre Pharmacy first down for the Hornets.
I'm convinced if he breaks that tackle without the little fall, I think he's going to score.
Yeah.
Just that little hiccup after he broke it just caused him to get wrapped up.
You could see it. He was about to hit that top gear and just enough. He needs to back up. He's not on the line here. Let's see if they throw it. There we go.
Oh,
they're going to say set. They go to Hampton. Hampton, stiff arm, tripped up at the 32, trying to shrug a man off, and will be dumped at the 31. But another Acre Pharmacy first down.
He says it's going to take 4 or 5 Eagles to take me down. I ain't going down with one guy. He's lucky he didn't get a illegal motion right there. I guess the ref, he kind of, all right, you noticed you needed to fix yourself. And the ref might have been telling him, hey, back up, back up, back up. And if he's telling him to back up, he's not going to penalize him for listening to him and doing what he was supposed to do. So that's probably kind of what happened in that case.
Yeah, we were both watching it. I was like, he's not on the line of scrimmage. He's over it. Now Henry to the left side of Warrior. He'll drop to throw. Warrior looking, scrambling, being chased. Got to get rid of it. He does. Got a man down there. Incomplete. We're going to PI. A PI roofing penalty flag on the play.
I think it's going to be on whoever was in coverage on Isaac Warrior, who was a little bit shorter. And I think Isaac was probably the intended receiver, but he kind of gets pushed in the back a little late there. And was that Christian almost ended up coming up with it anyway.
So pass interference on Valonia. So that'll be enough for a first down for the Hornets.
There's a minute left, and you go 2 for 1 right here if you can score in the last minute, then get the ball back after you come back out from halftime.
Yeah, that's what Arkansas State was trying to do last Saturday against Arkansas. And
Well, what did
I tell you, we were all groaning a little worried about it in that stadium. As if they'd have scored there and got the ball after halftime, that would have been an interesting game. But it turned out to not be interesting, as most expected.
Thankfully.
I'll hand this one away. Bubba, right side, looking for the corner. 10, and brought down inside the 10 at the 6-yard line. And be really close to a first down. Should be enough. Is now, if they give him that right foot spot, it is enough at the 5.
And then Maumelle called a timeout.
Okay.
Well, nope. They lost an extra 5 seconds after they had already called. They'd stopped. I thought they had stopped it for the timeout, but I think they're gonna get about 55 on there, is what they were saying.
It's an Ackles timeout called by the Hornets here.
See, I think it's going to be 55.
You can take a timeout, head over to Ackles Carpet One Flooring and Home for all of their sales, as they'll take care of you on all of your carpet needs, flooring needs, laminate needs, cabinetry needs, countertop needs, any of your home repair needs. Give our friends over at Ackles Carpet One Flooring and Home a shout.
50. They're going to have 50 on the clock.
Sponsors of both our kickoffs and our timeouts. Making your home beautiful for less for over 35 years. 10 Maumelle Curve Court in North Little Rock, 501-214-0495. Yeah, so I'll be down at Dallas next week as well for that Highland Park game.
I will not.
No bye week off for me. Although I'm not really working. I'm just going to go down there and hang out and watch. But I'm excited because I'm hoping that I got big baby Andrew Chamberlain will get back with me this weekend and have some tickets for us to go see him play against TCU.
Ooh, is it at TCU?
It's
or is
at
it
TCU, which
not a long drive.
No, Andy and I have had an experience there too. It was something.
I walked into the stadium at TCU.
Little pitch inside by Bubba, and no. And I think Valonia's. Oh gosh, I think Valonia's seen that on film a few times and had a Hornet. Is that 58?
Yeah.
It's Riley Reiser who took a shot at the end of that play.
He had a few words to say as he got up too.
And so another Ackles timeout here for the Hornets.
Yeah, we went down to Dallas and we drove to we went to McLean Stadium for Baylor. We went to TCU. TCU had one of the gates open and I walked out there. I probably could have walked out on the field, but I was a little too scared to do that.
You're not that guy.
Not the guy. I've watched this stuff now.
He sneaks into every stadium.
And he checking all the doors, and he ends up in the facilities of most of them, which is wild to think about. But with how many doors those places have, I mean, you gotta make sure they're all locked, and people get lazy.
I don't know. According to Trey Biddy, they lock them all because he's been locked inside the Razorback Stadium a few times during his walk and talk. So. Hey, I do want to say a huge thanks to our guy Steve Sullivan. I just happened to flip on the buzz today, and I heard my name multiple times. What I do wrong, I've never heard my name in that forum.
I'm on the
doing
news.
Something wrong, yeah. But Sully giving us a ton of credit for what we've done here with Natural State Sports. So big credit obviously goes to our fans, those of you who watch and enjoy the broadcast and are stuck listening to me every week. We appreciate you.
I guess they could mute it if it was that bad,
That's
right?
True.
You can still watch it.
Maybe they do mute it.
Probably. And if they do, they wouldn't know we're talking about them.
That's right.
Who's this?
Hey, that's they're looking for us, I think, but she hasn't quite made it. No, she's a row too low.
You gotta go
She's
a little
gotta
bit
go
higher.
Up.
There you go. But now it's dark.
See, we're the dark room right there. Yeah, there you go. There's see the big screen in front of us here. Yeah, there you go. We'll stand up a little bit.
Oh, do we got to do that? I guess you can't see our faces.
No, it's
I don't
okay.
even know where she's at.
All right, so Hornets 1st and 10 inside the Easy Holland dumpster rental red zone. Warrior drops, looking, left side throwing, got a man, tipped in.
No.
Jackson couldn't catch the ball off the tip. I'll bring up a 4th down.
Vilonia's trying to figure out how they didn't catch that thing.
I do got to make a little change on our stream at halftime because our thumbnail picture is of the 4A state soccer tournament and not our game.
Okay, well.
So, yeah, the name is right. You did edit the name right, but I got to figure out how to change that thumbnail at halftime.
You don't want people thinking they're picking the soccer game.
I said fourth down. It is. Well, they haven't changed it. It's third down.
I thought we were fourth down, too.
Yeah, and that ball gets past word, but whistles blow. And fortunately for the Hornets, it's a false start.
Usually don't hear that too often, do you?
No.
Fortunately, there's a penalty.
And it is third. Yeah, our White Hat just confirmed that. So third down. And it's not third and goal. It's going to be third. Well, I guess, yeah, it is. Third down and goal. Yeah.
Coach better get off the
they're
field.
still standing there at the 7 with the stick, but he's actually kind of moved backwards now. Initially, when I looked, it looked like he was set.
Steve, you want her to find Jake at halftime?
Yeah, Jake did say,
she can try it. What I'm worried about is the voice. It's the words and what he's saying is not going to be synced up. So third down. Warrior gets the snap, drops, looking. Hampton, too much on it. Is that one out of bounds, incomplete, and so it'll be fourth down and goal, and they will bring the kicking unit on.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on it, Jackson. Now he put it in a spot to where I think it was Jackson was going to be the only guy that could get to it. He had double coverage over there, so tried to put it in the right spot, just a little bit too much.
Bring Bryce Mooney out. This will be a 30-yard attempt.
30 and a half.
Bryce Mooney on the attempt a field goal for the Hornets.
See if Mooney can get enough air under this one to get it through the uprights. Good snap this time. Good hold. Kick is up, and it is good.
Yeah.
Bryce Mooney with our Kids Being Kids Therapy field goal. And the Hornets extend the lead to 24-6.
The good snap was extremely important on that one. I don't know how Valonia didn't block that kick.
I don't know. They didn't rough him either.
Do anything. They didn't. Nothing happened. And part of the issue, and part of the one of your big issues there is they're sending guys off both edge. A guy's going to be too scared to actually lay out to block a kick if there's another guy coming at him. You can't send guys off of both edges and expect them to sell out to block it, because if they both sell out, now they're going to hit heads, and that's obviously not what you want. You got to only send pressure off one side on the extra point if you want a guy to really sell out, lay out, and try and get that block.
So Kids Being Kids Therapy, every child is unique, but at Kids Being Kids Therapy, they help them all enjoy the same thing, a fun, fulfilling childhood. Kids Being Kids provides evaluations and an occupational, physical, and speech therapy to help develop and strengthen skills while encouraging independence. Their therapeutic model is built around helping kids succeed with learning opportunities at home, in the classroom, and throughout the community. Find out more today by visiting kidsbeingkidstherapy.com or call them at 501-803-9722.
It's a big kick for Mooney right there. And, struggled a little early. And he is a young ninth grader, right? So a guy that probably had a little bit of nerves in his first varsity football game against Sylvan Hills. But a big kick right there to show that if they get inside that red zone, they got a chance to put points on the board.
And to do it with pressure in his face. Moran with our Ackles kickoff. Good kick. Returnable at the 14. Across the 25-30 and knocked out of bounds. Really, he did the knocking at the 35. Wow, there's a late hit. Yep. We're going to get a PI roofing penalty. Should be on Harwood as he sent Jaden Baker flying about 10 yards after the play.
That's how you always know it's a personal foul whenever the flags go about 20 yards in the air. As well. Like no other penalty flag goes that high in the air.
So there's Coach Watson down there patrolling the sidelines.
He's coming. He's the muscle. He's coming down to make sure that he don't need to hold somebody back so they can calm down.
Only question is, why is his red a different shade?
Well, it looks like a Razorback shirt.
Everybody else's red is normal.
Isn't even a Maumelle shirt.
I'll be honest, I didn't even pay attention when he came up here. So personal foul on Valonia. 20 seconds and one timeout. I can't imagine Coach Ashcraft's going to do anything here but kneel on it. Especially with the Hornets getting the ball after half.
Definitely looks like a victory formation, if you will.
Yes, I would say so.
Shotgun victory.
Definitely not a going deep formation here. Ashcraft takes it, takes a knee at the 15-yard line, and that's going to do it for our first half. A good first half for the Hornets as they lead this one 24-6 as we head into the break. Stick with us. We'll have the band for you here in just a few minutes on the Maumelle Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports. No, stay with us. Stay with us. Sorry. I got Jake. That's my fault, Jake. I totally forgot. Let's go down to Jake Hall down at the sideline.
Hey, guys. Just waiting on Coach Muffin to make his way over here.
Okay. Sorry about that, Jake. I was taking a break way too early there. Totally forgot about you.
No, it's okay. I was standing right under the horn for halftime, too, and about blew my eardrum.
You see Jake Hall getting set down there. So
Just letting all the players get by him now.
Oh, my gosh. We'll have a talk. Hey, Pew, start the talk and send them to their offensive.
we'll let them figure that out for a minute. And
Doesn't know that he's mic'd up. We make sure we keep him.
All right, we'll head down to Jake Hall with head coach Brian Maupin and the rest of his helping crew right now. Go ahead, Jake.
All right, Coach. Hey, how's it going? Pretty good. All right. So I know you got to like the scoreboard up there. Talk about maybe some the good, the bad. What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're doing a better job of playing with intensity. I like the way the guys are flying around, forcing turnovers, which is a big emphasis this week. We've limited conditioning based on how many turnovers we can force in practice. So we're doing a good job with that. I'd like to see us finish drives a little better offensively and defensively on their score. We had a free rusher. Can't ask for much more than that. We got to finish and make that play. We'll come up to the drawing board and figure out how we can fix that. And then offensively, just kind of sputtering a little bit in the red zone. But, I have full faith in those guys. They've done a great job all year. We'll be fine.
Absolutely. And we all know turnovers win ball games. And you guys are in the great margin right now. But last thing, you just touch on you guys are getting good pressure on the quarterback, and he's somehow escaping the pocket. Talk about how you might fix that halftime.
Coach's kid, man, he's a heady player. I knew he was a ball player. Those guys are just players and gamers. I told him all week he may not be the most impressive looking kid, but, man, he's a gamer. We got to do the best. It's supposed to be 6 men all working together, and that's what it's going to take. When we do that, it's a big play. It's a sack. When we don't do that, he can scamper on us.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining me, Coach. Good luck. Back to you, Steve.
I appreciate you, Jake. Good job there. Appreciate Coach Maupin joining us. All right, that is going to do it for us for our first half here on the Maumelle Sports Network. Join us here in a minute with our cheerleaders and band down on the field here on the Maumelle Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports.
My name is Brandon Aker. I'm the owner and pharmacist here at Aker Family Pharmacy in Maumelle. So here in our pharmacy, we like to focus on a hyper-personalized relationship with our patients, and that continues into our service sets. So we offer free delivery, curbside vaccinations, as well as custom compounded medications, including extended hours as well. I think you don't know the level of intimacy that you're going to get with your patients until you really get in it, and I can't imagine doing anything else.
Come see us today at American Pie Pizza. Enjoy our pizza by the slice daily from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Or catch one of our daily specials like $2 Tuesdays and get $2 off any large pizza. Are wings more your thing? Monday nights are Wingtastic Mondays. So get all the wings you can eat for just 69 cents a wing. And don't forget about the incredible cheese dip. Then to finish it all off, be sure to grab a Pizookie or one of our other amazing desserts. So head over to 9709 Maumelle Boulevard and let our friendly staff serve you today. Call ahead at 501-758-8800 or order online at www.ampiepizza.com. Live free and eat pizza at American Pie Pizza.
Hello?
Hello, roofers are us.
Hello, your ad says same-day leak repair. I called yesterday and nobody has been out.
That was a typo in the ad. It was supposed to say someday roof repair. Who you think we are? PI Roofing?
If you have a leaky roof, you need it fixed right away. Call your roof leak detectives at PI Roofing and get the leak stopped right away. We're ready at a moment's notice all year long. Call 501-687-6246 for same-day roof repair from PI Roofing.
Let's hear it for your 25-26 Maumelle varsity cheerleaders.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the 2025-2026 Maumelle High School Marching Band. Their show this season is entitled If I Own It, featuring music of Radiohead and Pink Floyd. The Maumelle Marching Band starts their journey to the land of Oz through the eyes of the Scarecrow. Drum Major Austin Kutchin, is your band ready? You may take the field. Solos tonight include Olivia Evatt on flute and Caleb Hendricks on saxophone. We want to thank our season sponsors, Tractor Supply Distribution Center of Maumelle, Maumelle Family Dentistry, and Kroger of Maumelle. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the Valonia Eagle Marching Band.
welcome back to Maumelle Hornet football on the Maumelle Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports, as our teams have made their way out of the locker rooms. And as is the norm when we get these two bands together and their tons and tons of equipment, we get a long halftime. And so both teams out getting a little warm-up in as the Valonia band makes their way back to their big 18-wheeler over there parked in the street.
Yeah, very elaborate setups. It's a lot of work. There's a ton of work that goes into just learning the routine and the marching formations and everything. But then on top of that, all the setup that goes into putting those different props together, if you will. Valonia even had a ramp that they walked up on and did some things. I don't know. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, Jim talking about the cost back there. I'm sure it's quite elaborate with all the stuff that they put together over there. But, of course, my sign-in is not working.
Got to have good band parents, just like you got to have good football parents and basketball parents, and probably some fundraising going on.
So as we take a look at our first half stats, thanks to Mr. Jim Ashley. By the way, before I even get to that, let's talk about Jim Ashley for a moment, if I can find the right stuff. You got printing needs, call our friend Jim Ashley at Preferred Printing, all types of business products, custom letterhead, flyers, business cards, vinyl lettering, and banners as well, like the ones we have hanging in the stadium for these broadcasts. Give Jim a call, 501-920-8407, or email at preferredprinting@sbcglobal.net. So as we take a look at our first half stats, Maumelle 10 first downs to 6 for Valonia. Total yards gained in that first half rushing-wise. Net yards rushing, 80 rushing yards for the Hornets, 53 for Valonia, 93 through the air for Maumelle, 33 yards through the air for Valonia. And so offensively, not really a big ball game. Defensively, you've had a defensive touchdown on the pick six, as well as a big field goal out there by Mooney. But other than that, it's not quite been at least the ground and pound, beat you up kind of game we thought. But I think the defense, at least on our end of things, has played much better than they had in the first couple weeks. Yeah, defense is kind of taking care of business. They have that one touchdown where they just let Ashcraft kind of run all over them, not on design run plays, but on pass plays that they got pressure and he just kind of broke out of there and ended up in the end zone. But one of the big things there, they've got 2 passes complete. They're 2 for 10, Valonia is. They got 2 completions, but then they also have 2 other completions, but those were to the other team. So they have as many completions as they do interceptions. So definitely not a stat you like to see if you're Valonia, but you love it if you're Maumelle. Plus you had the fumble in there too. You heard from Mop in there right before halftime talking about creating turnovers, and that was one of the things that they hadn't been able to do much of this year is create turnovers. They've done that here in this one. You heard Moppin. Now, I think for me, what I'd like to see a little bit of is what we've been begging for now 2.5 games is let's see them put together some things in the running game and force their will there, and then maybe that opens up a little bit more of that passing game. Yeah, and you just got to get up front. You got to get that offensive line kind of all on the same page, get them together, and get some holes and some seams there for your running backs, because so far they've been getting the ball in the backfield, and they've had an eagle in their face pretty quickly. So you got to get that schemed up to kind of have Valonia's playing you defensively and get some guys blocked up front. Well, when you look at the numbers, third down conversions, Valonia 1 out of 5 in that first half. Maumelle 0 of 5, and a lot of that was because you talked about it in the pregame. Behind the sticks, you're not getting either a lot of yards on first down, or you got penalties backing you up, putting you behind the sticks. And so 0 for 5 on third down. They are 2 for 4 on fourth down. At Valonia also 50% at 1 for 2 on fourth down. But that's been a big key so far in that first half is the inability to continue drives. Yeah, I mean, you just got to it's running the ball, stay on track, kind of keep ahead of the sticks. So we'll see if they can do it right now. Wonder how we're going to see. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and sneak a little onside here. Yeah, they were being creative with how he was putting it on that tee. That wasn't just to stick it on the tee. So Akel's kickoff. Just a little sky kick back there. Will be returned at the 31. It was pitched. And there's room if he can break a tackle across the 40. Cuts inside, across to the 45-yard line, and finally pushed out of bounds. And a great return there for the Hornets, as that's number 14, Jaden Baker. Yeah, Christian Jackson. I think it was Christian Jackson. They caught it
But it was designed a little pitch where he's coming back to him and getting him over there away from all those guys. And that's film study. You see they like to sky kick it to that opposite side all the time and send most of their coverage guys there. So if you can get a guy running the other way with some speed, he's got a good chance to get outside. And he did, and I thought he was going to break it at one point.
Just about did, and just good pursuit that time by Valonia. So Warrior in the offense back on the field. Good field position at the 45-yard line. Warrior hands it away. Henry, oh boy, just about broke free on that one. Instead, be brought down at the 39-yard line and about 4 yards shy of a first down.
And that's what you had, a little bit of a seam there. And London came, he pulled around and he kind of left that guy go. See if they're moving fast right here. Yep.
And looking Hampton,
Oof.
Nice catch as Hampton bobbled it but brought it in tight coverage, and that will be an Acre Pharmacy first down.
He got his head around a little late right there, so he did really good to get his hands up there quick to bring it down, secure the catch. But now you're moving, get a little bit flow offensively now.
First down, Warrior. They'll hand it away. Henry again, left side, breaks a tackle inside the 20, 15, makes a man miss to the 10, 5 down there to the 6. And they will mark him there at the 6-yard line. It'll be first and goal after another Acre Pharmacy first down.
He catches a pretty good hit from 24 right there, but I think 24 went backwards more than Jacob did.
Well, 24 been laying some hits down there. He's had a few of them. And now Warrior back to Henry again. Big hole, 5-4-3, 2-yard line and smack down there. And it'll be second and goal.
I think that cut came a little bit quicker than he thought. He needed to get outside of Jackson. Jackson ended up blocking that guy to where you needed to get outside of him. And I just don't think he had enough room right there and just slid as he tried to make it.
So Henry off the field, Bubba Johnson onto the field. And this is what you call sniping touchdowns if you play fantasy football. Is Bubba Johnson on after a great drive here to open the second half for Jacob Henry. They go Bubba, left side, and give him 6.
And
Easy
he does
enough.
it. Takes it right from Jacob, the one play that he comes out.
I'd say Bubba owes Jacob a Pazuki after that one for sure.
That's a Jacob Henry touchdown.
And so touchdown Hornets to get things started quickly here in our second half. And Tyler, we asked for it, and they delivered there on the opening drive of the second half. Quick, less than 2 minutes off the clock, and a great rushing touchdown drive there.
Absolutely. It's just a pretty-looking drive right there with good flow and everything. You just kept moving, positive yards after positive yards. That's what an offensive possession should look like.
Mooney on for our Kids Being Kids Therapy extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. And with 10:20 to go in the third, Hornets lead this one 31-6.
Excuse me, Steve.
You can't be doing that.
I'm telling you, I'm ready for bed.
It's been a long week.
I think we're calling the kicker Mooney. That's Moran, isn't it? 82.
Was it 82?
I think so.
Oh, sorry. That's my fault.
We said Mooney.
I kept saying Mooney.
That's
but
Bryce,
Moran.
and
Yeah.
Mooney's like 32.
32. I just put an extra few marks on the other side of it. I apologize.
They've probably been yelling at us.
They have. There's not
chat
much in the
about it.
chat, but to be honest, they probably can't find it because the thumbnail says
They're
4A State
They're
soccer
trying to watch
tournament.
the soccer game.
So
huh?
we do apologize for that. That was on me. Hit the wrong button on the VMix machine earlier today, and we reset it, but for some reason it pulled that thumbnail, and you can't fix it apparently live.
Apparently. Oh, well. Guess if they want to watch some soccer, they might have joined in.
Hey, actually, a lot of people watched that. Unfortunately for them, they had to hear me call.
Would you like to try and pronounce those names again?
Nope. Mm-mm.
From what I heard, you had a pretty good time doing that.
I had more fun with my goal calls. That was way better.
I can imagine.
All right, so ready for our kickoff here. It's foot into football and returnable from the 15. Makes the first man miss, runs into his own man, and then Patrick Ward there to finish that one off at the 33-yard line. That's where Valonia will start the second half.
Patrick Ward, he kind of there to make a play, and then he kind of missed, and then he kind of got blocked into making the play. There's kind of a lot going on right there, just in the short little half yard, all that happened.
The defense back out onto the field, a 31-6 game. The only bright spot for Valonia, the big drive really was all Ashcraft on the drive as he finished it off with a scramble for a touchdown. Extra point no good, but 31-6 game here in the second half. Ashcraft hands it away and slung down by Ryan Bills in the backfield.
Finally, they get the penetration but don't get too far upfield, and he kind of gets flat and is able to make a good tackle right there for a big loss.
Hallie made Hallie look like a little rag doll there, the way he just chucked him down.
I'm just going to lay you down right here, buddy.
The line of scrimmage is the Eagle 31-yard line.
So 2nd and 14 as Ashcraft moves his receivers around. Drop, looking, pump fake, now throws to his back and skips it in, incomplete.
Yeah, to get that out of there before Jordan Harris got a hand on it or got a hit on him. Jordan Harris did really good work with his hands right there. He got his hands on that right tackle, kind of extends out of him. That's one thing with him being so tall and long. If he can get his hands on him and use them, that offensive lineman can't even get their hands on him, and he just sheds him. Gets pretty quick pressure right there.
So 3rd down. It's been a struggle on 3rd down for both teams. Valonia 1 out of 5 in that first half. Let's show some pressure. Now back out of it. Ashcraft, Bill just missed him. They miss him again. Hit at the line. He's going to push forward. He's got an Acre Pharmacy first down. Keeps the pile moving. Boy, Ashcraft is a strong-legged young man.
And he took that hit from Davian Jordan on the chin, and he just kept on going.
Colson Ashcraft keeps the drive alive. It's had guys there. Ashcraft just somehow, as he's done a lot of times tonight, figured out a way to get away.
Just able to sneak out in the middle, and then they've got everybody back in coverage. You're going to have to get somebody in the middle there, one of your linebackers, to keep his eyes in the backfield. He can get a little bit of depth, but he's got to keep eyes on Ashcraft and spy him a little bit whenever it's a passing play.
I thought that's what they were doing with Jay Will there. He showed blitz and then backed out, but Ashcraft's still able to find space. Now that one on the turf, picked up. Now let's see if Ashcraft can get out of this one. He does initially, but Jordan Harris all over him as he smothers him back at the 42-yard line.
A bad snap ruined that one from the start, able to make one. Jay Will miss, and then he's still stumbling. And anytime Jordan Harris is chasing after you, you stumble, it's not going to end up great.
A few updates from our other network games as Pulaski Academy on PA Live has traveled down to West Monroe, Louisiana. At the half, they led 14-10. And then Sylvan Hills, over on the Sylvan Hills Sports Network at the half, they lead 42-0.
Already in the sportsmanship roll over there. It's 2 in a row for them.
Mm-hmm. And then Robinson was up at the half 14-6 over Lakeside.
That'll be your best one.
Now Ashcraft runs away, and Brackett chases him out of bounds. He's going to lose about 2 more, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and forever here, about 3rd and 18 for Valonia.
Here's the key. Make sure Ashcraft ain't scrambled for all of them again. Stay in your lanes and don't open it and don't open up that middle for him. Just tuck it and go. Because they have not hurt you throwing the ball. You've kept them pretty blanketed. The only time you didn't was that wheel out of the backfield that they missed, really.
Mm-hmm. And you had good pressure there, so. Move Harwood out, pump fake. Ashcraft steps up, throws, looking deep, and caught. What a throw and catch. Inside the 5, breaks the tackle. Touchdown, Eagles. And wow, just when you said they couldn't beat them through the air, they do.
And Glover's in pretty good position right there. I mean, Ashcraft just he drops that ball into the one space that Glover couldn't get to it, right over the shoulder of his receiver right there. It's just a really good ball thrown against pretty good coverage.
Yeah, Jackson Ringgold on the catch. I tell you, Glover got away with a little hold right at the top of the route just as he started to break and really had him beat. And Glover got a piece of it, didn't get seen, but then a great throw there by Ashcraft as he drops it in the bucket, and now they'll go for 2 here on our Kids Being Kids Therapy extra point. Ringgold, the motion man. Ashcraft rolling that way, being stalked, and the Sandman has him and slings him down inside the 20 at the 22-yard line. Great job by Jordan Harris.
You have to get out of there a little bit quicker if you don't want him to get his big paws on you now.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
And so he's been working really well. And the difference between good defensive linemen and great defensive linemen is whenever they start to learn to use their hands and get their hands on the offensive lineman, they become lethal. And on this possession, Jordan Harris has done really well getting his hands on the right tackle for Valonia and just he just moves the guy out of his way whenever it's time to move him out of his way, and he goes on to make a play. So really good use of his hands so far, just kind of grabbing, shocking, and shedding at the point of attack.
Goodness gracious. I tell you what, in a week, and this is just not news that I really want to have to share, but in a week where things have just been absolutely nuts in this country, looks like North Little Rock Benton has been canceled or called due to security concerns. There was a shooting at the game.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
Where was that game at?
At North Little Rock. Goodness. 7:25 to go in the third. So we get ready for our Ackles kickoff. And again, I would expect maybe some trickery out of Valonia here. Try to take advantage of the momentum. Instead, they'll sky kick it. And looking to return, trying to find some space. And drug down at the 35-yard line. Let's look to see who unpiles that had that football. It was, I believe, Jackson. Whoever it is slow to get up. That's not Jackson.
No, it's a 3, it looks like.
Wouldn't be 3. That would be Wiley.
It's a double-digit 3, I think.
Mayweather, maybe.
Brought down at about the 35-yard line.
And it looks like it's a cramp, judging by what Band-Aid's working on there. As we get a good shot at our stands. Great job by our field camera operator, Kristen Henson. It's on our main cam. Bobby Jones. Uh-oh, she's going to find us again. Hey, she found Bobby. You can look to your, there's Bobby.
Say hi,
right
Bobby.
There. Say hello, Bobby. There you go.
Yeah, smile for the camera.
A great job by Bobby, as he's been a great addition to our team. And you can see that's my hand somewhere over there. There you go.
There it is,
right
behind
there.
that, right behind
you see
the
Jim
window
Ashley's
thing.
head.
What?
That was Chad Mayweather, who was banged up on the play. It was some crampage. So
Told you it was a 3.
Trying to make his way off the field. See, we don't need a spotter. We've got Tyler Chenault.
You said, no, ain't no way it's 3. Well, there is a
Well, I
3.
meant 3, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Andy Gates do color through binoculars. Like, that was pretty impressive. It was sketchy, but impressive. I'll hand this one away. Good penetration. Broke it and stumbles down. Oh, Lord. And Jackson Hampton just delivered his man to the bench and gets called for it. And see, a little extra on Cooper Hansen.
And that one, the ref threw it like, oh, come on, you're going to make me throw this one. It's just kind of like just a little toss on that one. Like,
well, I saw out of the corner of my eye, I saw something fly over here. And so I was looking for a flag, like maybe they got a hold.
I saw another bat.
Maybe that's what it was. It was a personal foul on Jackson Hampton. So
didn't put you in a good spot with the sticks.
That will back it up to
22.
If they count right. Nope. Yep, 22-yard line. Our official went one too many.
No, somebody's got to get those extra 15 back.
The first down and 20.
25.
I thought it should be 25, right? Play fake, looking, wanting deep. Hampton! Oh, just a bit too much on that one. And that'll bring up a second down.
Eli, it looked like Levi expected him to kind of straighten that out once he cleared those safeties, and he kept a little bend to it, so he threw it over his head a little bit behind him. So just not putting it in the right spot one way or the other. But he broke those safeties, and he had room.
Again, the timing just off on that play. We've seen it a couple times tonight.
It's one of those, a lot of times once you break through, you got to stack them and get vertical for the ball. so you're not running yourself into trouble on the other side of the field.
Actually, 2nd and 23. Screen pass set up. Jackson makes the catch. Hesitates around the first man out to the 30. And he'll be thrown down. And, boy, Clinton got to be careful not to get that penalty.
It's just anybody going to throw a flag out here? He's just getting pushed around by this offensive lineman. Clinton's a guy. He lives right on the edge, right there. He's an offensive lineman that he's a nasty. Nasty is what you call him.
He's been fun to watch for sure. Now Warrior on 3rd and 12 drops, looking, throwing. Oh, he's got his man, but a little short, came back for it, caught, breaks free. 20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. Touchdown, Hornets. Jumpman is back.
I couldn't tell if once he caught it that he broke the tackle or the Valonia Eagles kind of pushed him. Looks like he got a boost of speed as soon as he got touched by the D-back over there. Oh, there's a flag.
Oh. There is a PI review.
Now,
Hey, he picked it up.
Are they all walking? Are they all walking back though? He's going to go talk.
Yeah, the linemen are going back. We have a hold, I believe. That's where it's in the area of.
I don't know that you have to ask him, really. You should know that he wants to accept it. Do you not?
Unless it was like
well, there's a lot of discussion going
Yeah.
on, but everybody's walking back. And Coach Maupin was talking to Beals as if kind of discussing what happened. Oh, personal foul. Oh, so there is a touchdown.
Okay.
So why did we walk all the way back?
I think there was some confusion, and that's what I was going to say. Is maybe it was post possession or post touchdown.
And he
It
didn't
was.
point. He didn't point a direction. He said personal foul touchdown. So that's what he was asking Ashcraft.
Yeah.
Do you want it on the extra point or do you want it on the kickoff? So that's where that discussion was.
All right, so count the touchdown. So 37-12. As we await our Kids Being Kids Therapy extra point.
From Moran, not Mooney.
And Moran's kick is up. And it is good.
And there's a flag. Offsides, maybe?
It's going to be, Valonia's clapping to be on Maumelle.
What is he doing?
A formation penalty? So.
He's saying somebody was too far back, I guess?
I guess so. We'll try
He
this
keeps
again.
doing this. Somebody was backed up too much.
So we'll try the Kids Being Kids Therapy extra point again.
Well, he showed us he's got the leg for it now.
Yeah, we know he's good from at least 30. Oh, that Whataburger sign is working. Kind of want some Whataburger on the way home.
It does say 24 hours.
They are open 24 hours. I know. I've gotten milkshakes there at 3 a.m. Milkshake sounds good, too. What do we need to get Whataburger on the broadcast?
What we do need to do to get anything on the broadcast.
This one up and good again.
Looks better than the first one.
It did. That's the best kick I think I've seen him kick all
I
year.
heard there was food on the first floor, but I didn't realize that whenever I got here.
Yeah, we had some pizza that got brought up. Jack Langford brought a little small pizza up here. We devoured that. I think Jim ate 3/4 of it.
Oh yeah.
Did you see our replay here?
We got we got the newbie in here, and he's eating all the pizza. Huh?
Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Jake Hall. Jake, what you got for us?
Nothing.
Apparently, Jake has nothing.
Doesn't sound like we got
I don't
him.
think I'm connected. Let me try this again.
I don't hear the crowd noise.
We're gonna try that again. They did this earlier too, so let's do that again. It's working now.
I can hear the phone call. In case you weren't wondering, in case you were wondering how we get him on from down to the field, there it is.
Let's try to go to Jake.
Am I
again.
back?
There he is. We got Jake now.
Hey, I'm here. Hey, talk about a great catch and run right there by Jumpman Jackson. I don't know about you guys, but he's on my fantasy team, so that's a whole bunch of points
Yeah, I
coming
got
my
Jacob
way.
Henry, so I lost that touchdown earlier.
Yeah. Hey, but what I want to see out of this defense right here, Ward and the Sandman are doing a really good job on the end. I mean, they've just got to figure out a way to close those gaps because, I mean, that's Vilonia's only piece of offense right now. Is they're just scrambling away and getting huge chunks of yards and converting very long third down. So I know that's what Coach Moffitt is looking to see out of his defensive line here on this possession.
All right, thanks, Jake. As after our Akel's kickoff goes out of bounds, it'll be Valonia football. Let's see what they decide to do.
I will say, if Jake drafted Jumpman, that was probably the steal of the draft because weren't expecting this meteoric rise from him this year. So that's one of those. That's a league winner, if you will.
And all he's done is catch touchdown passes. Yep. I mean, Sylvan Hills, he had a couple, and then he had one against Parkview, and now he's got one here tonight.
I mean, Sylvan Hills week, he would have been the only player you needed on your roster. You probably would have won the game.
Could you imagine if in that game if you would have had Christian Jackson as your wide receiver and Tyler Hampton as your quarterback, you'd have been golden.
You don't need anybody else. Just hopefully you didn't have either of their defenses.
Yes, no, the defense would have been that's
negative 20 points.
You just don't start a defense. Just
I've done that one week. I've removed my defense was a Monday night game and I was up by like 1.5 points. I was like, no, I don't need that.
Yeah, we had to change that rule in a league one time where you had to start your defense.
Because people got
yep. We'll try this Akel's kickoff again. When he kicked that, I'm not going to lie, I thought we were about to see that same situation we saw in the Alabama A&M game where a kicker kicked it off of a guy accidentally and then we recovered it.
If only we could have scored again after that. I think went to halftime, didn't you?
Yep. So they'll try it again. This one a much better looking kick and returnable from the 34 across the 40, midfield and into Hornet territory.
Looked like we were trying to tackle the guy that didn't even have the ball half the time. We're getting wrapped up with number 4, and he didn't even on the return.
So after the re-kick, I think Valonia gained about 5 yards. They would have ball went out of bounds at like the 42, 43. They would have gotten 5 out of that. So
I guess it is positive yardage.
Yeah. Which, the way this second half has gone, Hornets scoring quickly, but Valonia has been able to push it down the field as well.
They definitely put something together. Maybe that'll be their one for the half. They get one each half, and that's it.
Yeah. Again, I do want to say, again, thanks to our Red Zone sponsor, Easy Haul and Dumpster Rentals out of Saline County. Father and son duo. Dedicated, providing your neighbors and surrounding areas with dependable dumpster rentals. Give them a call, 501-765-5908. Dropping is Ashcraft. He's going to go deep again, looking for Ringgold again. Is that picked?
No.
Oh, man.
No, Ringgold about went up and mossed him now. I thought it was going to be, but Ringgold goes up. Oh, he came down with a limp, bad ankle, it looks like. They both of them were kind of limping off the field.
Sure if that's a little cramping or if they just both came down and twisted ankles on the way down. What is going on?
I thought he was about to go up and get him, go up and get the ball over him.
I thought Jalen Harris was about to start just throwing people out of the way to get off the field there. He couldn't get around to the Valonia
Trying to
guys.
fight through them.
This time, Ashcraft kept it on the read, and he is hit and taken down at the 41-yard lines where they'll spot him.
Third and 4. Much more manageable than some of their third downs have been, but those ones that weren't manageable, they ended up coming up with first down, so maybe this is how we like it a little bit better right now.
So third down. And I think Valonia moved first.
Yeah, it looked like your up back or your tackle right there jumped.
Ooh. Oh. That'll be a free first down here for Valonia. So the PI roofing penalty results in an Acre Pharmacy first down.
Somebody's getting sent to the concession stand.
Hey, I want to be. Can you bring me something from the concession stand?
That's the one thing they did at PA that we don't get here.
I know.
They come up and ask you if you wanted anything.
That was so awesome. Even though it was hot as crazy in that room.
Cramped and we lost.
Harwood on the carry, and the Hornets set the edge this time and dumped for a loss.
Jacob out there doing good. Just getting lateral with him and breaking down and making him make a decision and then being ready to make the tackle when he does.
Big Jalen Harris back on the field, this time with a clear path.
Nobody in his way. He has to move.
Ryan Bills comes off the field. I got to find time to cut these highlights and send to Wes more. Thanks, Kyle Sutherland.
Oh. Took Kyle to do it.
And you better be pulling PA. Ashcraft gives it away right up the middle. Boy, hit that hole hard was number 24, Ryan Deal.
And Ryan Deal, he's been a little more effective runner for him tonight than who the other one, I don't remember.
Harwood,
his name.
yeah.
Harwood. That's the name, yeah.
Apologizes. Tyler does not have the roster right in front of him, and so
he's got it all the way over there, hogging it.
Well, I don't
on the other side of our flat screen.
I don't want to block your flat screen there.
It's not even a flat screen anymore. We went curved screen.
Yes, I went big time. I went picked up off the turf. They give it away. Deal got room. He's got speed to get the edge and just tripped up outside the 10.
He is down. Yeah. Nice Brister out there to at least get him taken down. 22. He's still got his long sleeves on, surprisingly enough. I would have taken them off at halftime. Wouldn't ever wear them in the first place, but
it's way too warm for all that tonight.
But Deal still being the more effective runner right here.
So first and goal as we make our way into the Easy Holland dumpster rental red zone. Ringgold splits out to the far side of the field. Low snap again. They give it to Deal again, and Deal just squirts through. Give him 6. Touchdown, Eagles. And with 3:24 to go in the third, Valonia still trying to hang around, 38-18.
Now you're going to have another 15-yarder on Maumelle. I can't tell who that was. Whoever it was that kind of gave him the late little push, 10 out there. Kind of gives Deal a little shove. They don't throw a flag on that, but Deal maybe says something and he says something back, and then 10 points at the scoreboard. But he doesn't just point. He stands there and he holds it pointing at the scoreboard for a good 45 seconds and draws the ire of the officials.
And these are the things you got to clean up to. Obviously, as you get into conference play and wins start to matter a whole lot more and you get through the season, silly penalties like that where, hey, look, Valonia scored on you, let them have their moment. Get back on offense, put more points on the board. That's how you prove what the scoreboard says. So as we await the white hat here.
And it's okay. I mean, I get the saying, hey, scoreboard.
Oh, okay.
So maybe Deal said something, and that's what, yeah. That's one of those that if you don't get the one penalty, you probably aren't going to get the second one either. Like you were either going to get an offsetting or you weren't going to get any at all. So,
yep.
But, it's just. I understand the scoreboard, and that's what coaches will be like, hey, man, just tell them to look at the scoreboard and then move on. Just don't continue it. And that's whenever you get the flags that come out.
Goodness gracious. So they're done in Sylvan Hills already. As that kick up, and was that a good or a no good?
That was a no good, okay. I think. They just held their arms out. They didn't do the no good. They just stuck them out sideways.
Our kids therapy extra point is no good. And with 3:24 to go in the third, it's 38-18 Hornets. The final from the hillside, Sylvan Hills wins at 50-0 over Russellville. So it's an absolute blowout. And congratulations, as they are now 3-0, and it is officially a win streak. 3 straight now for Sylvan Hills. PA, as they are late moments of the third, leads West Monroe 17-10.
And at one point, Gosnell was up 234-7.
I saw that.
That is not breaking news. That was not the score, but that's just what the score bugs showed.
And boy, they found the scoreboard in the second half of that Robinson Lakeside game. And
234 points?
Not quite, but they just started the fourth quarter. It's 28-16. Robinson leads that. It was a 14-6 game at the half.
All these games are ahead of us. This has been the first quarter went by fast. Second quarter about normal. This one's kind of dragged on. We've had a lot of scoring going on. A lot of penalties, which also slows stuff down.
Yeah, a lot of big plays. So you're getting like these big plays that are taking just a little bit of time off the clock and then stop the clock, and we got to go through this process. And now Akel's kickoff. And this one skied to the left, a little deeper this time. Returnable from the 24. Jackson found a seam. Nice cut.
Ooh,
what a move. We got a flag on the field. Across the 30,
that?
20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6, but we'll wait and see what the laundry's about.
Why is there a flag all the way over here?
He called it, I think, during the cutback, but I'm not sure what it was. I just saw the flag fly.
Man, that was too pretty to call that one back.
Oh, Jackson frustrated, and it is a hold. I didn't see the hold, but I just saw the flag. So let's see what we can find here. I bet Andy's got a replay.
Andy's always got a replay.
Eventually, Andy's going to learn how to do the slow-mo on the replay, too. There was nobody even in the area of where they threw that.
Slow-mo's a little
there
late.
You go, a little late on the slow-mo.
Like, it had to be that. It was the guy that came through first. Looked like he got spun around a little bit, but I don't know that was a holding. Besides, he just overran the play and tried to turn around. That's the only guy it looks like was even really touched. The guy that came through first.
Maybe that was it. Oof. That's a tough call, Jake says. These officials hate my fantasy team.
Would have been another touchdown for him. All the way to the 18.
A little pitch inside, as that is Montavious Brooks on the reception. Give him 2 yards out to the 21-yard line. Bring up second down.
Just getting Levi some more completed passes.
Ball was only, what, 18?
Yes, 18-yard line. Second down and about 7. Now taking a little extra time here to
get the clock running a little bit.
hand it away and out across the 30. It'll be enough for an Acre Pharmacy first down.
Is that Bubba on the carry, I think? Yeah. He's rolling over people like it was Bubba. Like you're finally starting to see some movement up front, some seams for the running backs to get through. That one he got outside, but at least, you know, we hadn't had guys in our faces every time we take a handoff like we did in the first half. So we're at least getting some room to go to work as running backs and make some plays in the backfield.
Yeah, that interior, I think it was 65. Dylan Good had lived back there in the backfield on nearly every handoff in that first half.
And now he has moved.
Look for the little swing pass. Henry caught it, but is wrapped up. Good open field tackle there by the Eagles.
Yeah, so you got to get, if you're going to run those plays, you got to get good blocking by your guys on the edge. And Jordan just wasn't able to hold his too long and wasn't able to make a guy miss.
Second down after the loss on that one. It'll be 2nd and 12. Back it up to the 29-yard line. Warrior hands it away. Henry, right side, spins off a guy, still dragging folks to the 40-yard line. He's going to be right at the sticks for another Acre Pharmacy first down.
And that's a good run. Right after making his decision to get north, you can see him turn the jets on, and he gets another 7-8 yards just because from that burst of speed before an Eagle wraps him up.
And again, Good was the one that was in the backfield there for Valonia, but you look at him now, and he's 66 or 65.
I think it's a 5.
I think so. From the front, it looks like a 5. The back, it looks like a 6.
Yeah, it's a 5, yeah.
So, but he was in the backfield. Henry got around him, and now he is hands on hips, exhausted down there in that nose tackle position.
That's one of the biggest positions you got to rotate guys in and out of.
Play fake. Henry got a Warrior got a escape, got his man. caught by Jackson. Jackson taken down inside the 30, out of the 28-yard line. Another Acre Pharmacy first down for the Hornets.
That's a great throw by Levi, rolling out with his weak arm, right? Didn't even have a time to throw his hips over, and he just had, that was all arm right there. Pretty good mechanics, rolling out the opposite direction and put the ball right where it needed to be.
And a whistle.
Valonia's got to catch their breath, I think.
Yes, I mean, really, both of these teams have been. It's a track meet in this third quarter. Ever since that first drive, Hornets started going to Jacob Henry, and Henry then got sniped by Bubba Johnson on the touchdown run to start the second half. But then Valonia answered. I mean, and it's been back and forth, big play after big play here in this third quarter, and so you know these guys are exhausted. I just look down there. Ryan Deal, who's had a big second half offensively and defensively, was kind of laid out on the middle of the turf, had to be helped up by a coach.
I just need to catch my breath. Been running a whole lot. Last possession, this possession. Looks like they might be pulling him for a second.
Yeah, he was. I thought he was cramping initially. It looked like they were coming over to look at him, but he hopped right back up once the coach came over there. I think you're right. He's just catching his breath and taking a look at the stars for a moment.
If you could see the stars with all these lights out here.
I know it. Bit of a haze it looks like, too. I thought maybe that was the grills cooking earlier. I don't know. But hazy and the lights over by the soccer fields and track. Facilities just continue to grow and more impressive here at Maumelle High School. Big thanks to Pulaski County Special School District for the investment here. And you know, I was talking to Trip Keeter earlier. We've already had all the requests to break open the new Galaxy over at Mills for basketball season. Looking forward to that as the new arena is about done. This one up the middle. Bubba took a shot as he hit the hole.
A lot of bodies right there. There are a lot of Hornets and Eagles right in that one.
Oh, and a late PI roofing penalty. This one's obviously going to go on Valonia.
I didn't see what happened, but there was a lot of clapping from the Hornets.
Uh-oh.
I know you took your helmet off.
Deal's lost a helmet.
Well, you
How
can't.
does he not have to come off the field? He took it off himself. Yeah, we're going to ESPN.
ESPN. Hey, that sounds about right.
So how does Deal not have to come off the field?
Because he took his helmet off unless nobody saw it. Or nobody wanted to see it.
I guess. A PI roofing penalty. Coach Ashcraft about to get an explanation over there.
Somebody said something, Coach. Something we can't repeat on air.
Yes.
Probably. I don't know what it was, but I would just venture to say.
I don't know. If you watched the Wise Guys game.
Well, that air is a little bit different than this air. That's professional football air. This is public school district air.
I don't know that we've all ever looked at each other so quick and so shocked.
And then nobody cared. Like nobody said. It's like, you can tell we're used to not doing this type of game.
Warrior fakes it, looking, and that one picked off. That ball tipped, and is that Deal?
No, 21.
21. It was Jeremy Andrews on the interception, and again, it's that short little throw that's really giving Levi trouble tonight.
I think was that Davian Jordan. It was, I think, the single digit, whoever it was, and I thought it was Jacob Henry, but looks like it was 6. And he had good wherewithal by him to get his head around and make that tackle. Because if he doesn't get his hands around the D-back right there, there's a chance he's probably standing in the end zone right now. So good play. He tips it. He almost gets it caught, but tips it up for the interception. But he's able to turn around and at least grab him and get the guy down.
That's a couple times on those little routes where Warriors just kind of put it in there a little too hot or in a bad spot, and this receiver not ready for it. And so, again, timing is everything in the passing game, and Hornets got to work on that a little bit through the bye week. So Valonia back out on the field on offense.
Nothing on that one.
And that'll do it for our third quarter of play. After 3, 38-18 lead for the Hornets. And we said it during that quarter, Tyler, but it was definitely a track meet throughout that third quarter. Hornets came out hot with the running game, but the passing game lit up the Hornets for Valonia as well. And what was a 24-6 game at the half, now 38-18 game as we head to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you had a lot more yards gained in that quarter than you did in the first half. I don't know total-wise, but definitely average-wise, it was much higher average than those first two quarters just from the looks of it. Penalties, you had a lot more penalties, a lot more yellow out there that put people in some good or some bad situations, so definitely something both sides want to get fixed in this final quarter. And then points, I mean, scoreboard looks a lot different than it did after one half, so see if they can come out, see if the defense can make a big stand right here after that unfortunate turnover down close to the red zone. Get the ball back for your offense and hopefully go back to work. See if you can't put 40 on the board.
So as we get ready for our fourth quarter, take a look across our networks. The game's still going on. Of course, Sylvan Hills has defeated Russellville 50-0. Pulaski Academy, West Monroe, there's 9:40 to go in that ball game. They're tied at 17. And then over on the Robinson Sports Network, Lakeside had a chance to cut into the lead on fourth down, but they were stopped. And now with 7:35 to go in that ballgame, Robinson with the football up 28-16. Now Ashcraft gets the snap to start the fourth, and he's just going to launch it. Receiver made a good decision to come back. Did he catch it?
Yeah.
He did. Man.
As Jacob's running with him step for step, and he just doesn't know to turn and look for the ball, and 10 puts the brakes on, and there's not a whole lot you can do right there. Because if Jacob doesn't run by him, he runs into Jacob, and you get the pass interference. Like, that's just tough whenever you underthrow, kind of a back shoulder, if you will, throw. That's what they call it in the NFL, at least.
Yeah, that was not a back shoulder. That was just I left it short. So Hallie, a good adjustment. This time Ashcraft wanted the screen, but tucks it in. Took a shot. He was popped at the 45-yard line.
He figured out real quick, if I throw that one, that's probably going to be another pick six. He took that one. Nope, not this one. And that's I don't like they got the trips on the short side of the field, and they're going to throw. I don't like that. There's not enough room over there to get guys blocked. I know it keeps the defenders closer to the blockers, but if you have one mistake and a guy misses, he ain't got much room he's got to cover to make a play.
Valonia a chance to make this at least somewhat interesting in the fourth as they hand it away. Harwood out to the 48-yard line. Give him 3 on it and bring him a third down.
Which we know at this point, there's 2 more downs until they're going to give it back, because they ain't punting it anymore, especially if it's 4th and short.
Look at Ashcraft, just 5'10", 181, but very athletic out there. As he kept this one, took it out from Harwood. Ball's out as he dove for it. I think the Hornets, there was all black jerseys there.
That's all it was. If they don't have it, there's no way. That thing popped out while he was flying in the air.
Ashcraft banged up, and they got it back somehow. How in the world
one
did they get
eagle
that
was
back?
up there? Oh my gosh! 27 must have picked it up. He's the only guy that was there on the ground.
I tell you, Ashcraft got banged up. He's limping quite a bit. He thought he was going off the field, and instead had to circle back to the huddle. It was enough for an acre. No, it was not, and it wasn't enough for a first down either. So
yeah, it was.
Oh, it was. Okay.
They just hadn't reset it.
It's changed now. Sorry. I was like, I saw it on the screen. I was like, wait. So it is enough for an Acre Pharmacy first down. Keep an eye on Ashcraft here. Looking, throwing quickly. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. That definitely, the foundation, the base there was not the same as it was at the start of the game for sure.
Yeah, you could see it.
Cramping. Never mind. Saw the trainers running, but it's just a cramp. It'll be all right.
Yeah, as soon as he threw that, you could see he was wider and kind of cockeyed to the right, and that ball just sails on him. So it'll be 2nd and 10 as they work on the injured Eagle.
That's the thing. We said it's warmer already, and you're seeing more cramps in this game than you've seen in the first 2 games because your temperature's so much different. It's a completely different ball game than it was these first 2 weeks. Quick little water break while they stretched him out. Coach Moppet better get off. he said, Coach, I gave you enough. I gave you some slack. Now let's go. All right, I got you. That corner is close.
Right at it. 2nd and 10. Ashcraft, oh boy, somehow got out of the grasp of Harris and again turns a loss into a gain as he gets out to the 41-yard line.
Like he spun in 4 different circles before he got out of there. It's a merry-go-round.
I don't get it. This kid
with
hard to bring down.
With a bum leg or ankle or two, whatever's limping him a little bit, still able to stay up.
So 3rd down and 6. Ashcraft gets his offense set. Takes the snap, rolls right, looking over the middle. No, that ball came up well short on the right side.
Yeah, he's got to be. That foot has got to be affecting his throwing motion a little. Or that one, he's wiping his hands off. Maybe that one just slipped out. Yeah. But it brings up a big 4th down for the Hornets right here to try and get off the field after your first turnover of the game, which, you know, if you can keep it, you thought maybe you're going to get one back on the last 3rd down whenever Ashcraft fumbled. It still don't know how we didn't come up with that one.
So 4th down and 6. Ashcraft drops. They bring the house. He gets around it, broke the tackle. 1st down and more. Ashcraft up the middle and all the way down to the 15-yard line. He looks like a little Johnny Manziel out there as he just continues to convert on 3rd and 4th down. Another Acre Pharmacy 1st down.
I don't know how you could better explain it than that, because that's what he looked like, just running around with this loaf of bread in his hand and just guys falling off of him and grabbing at him and just nobody can get him down. It's a very similar look. Now, did Maumelle call a timeout?
Calls maybe? The Akel's carpet floor and home timeout here. And a much-needed timeout as some defenders exhausted out there, I got to imagine.
Yeah, and you had guys kind of colliding with each other.
At this point, I don't know how Ashcraft has anything left in the tank.
He's just playing on pure will at this point. It's like Coach Maupin wants to talk to the White Hat about something. I think they may have missed something on that play.
Maybe he's wanting some holds. All that change of direction, it's surprising that you don't have a lot of holds.
Yeah, when he's going different ways, so you got defenders that are changing direction and linemen that are just blocking. More often than not, you're going to have somebody that has a hold of some jersey. What?
What are we?
What's the buzzer go off for?
I don't know.
The end of your timeout buzzer, I guess.
I guess so. I didn't realize we were basketball season already. So 1st and 10 after another Acre Pharmacy 1st down for Ashcraft in the Eagle offense. Now dropping, looking over the middle, and good defense this time by the Hornets.
The referee got knocked down.
Yeah, he did.
In the middle of the defense right there.
Deal again. Deal's just hitting everybody tonight.
Glad he's not hurt. We've seen some times that happens to refs and they come out of the game. We had a ref my senior year of high school in our last playoff game that we lost against Camden Fairview. Almost beat them. They were the 1 seed. We had a ref go out of the get hurt and injured out of the game.
Hate to see that. Now Ashcraft. Look at it again. Nice move inside the 10. Pushed out at the 6. He's going to be about 2 yards shy of another 1st down. And I'm telling you, it's something else to watch his creativity when he's running the football.
He's starting to look a little twinkle toe-ish, if you will. He's just a little bitty hop and skip over there just to get a guy out of position.
You know, we talked in the pregame about, I said that this is a Valonia team that's somewhat in a rebuild mode. And you look, Ashcraft a junior. This is a piece that you can really build around. And if you can continue to grow around him, but Ashcraft is a piece to build. He can throw it serviceably, but boy, he's dangerous with the legs. Use them again. Boy, they were being held in the middle of that. No flags on the field, and they're going to be right at the sticks for a 1st down.
Maupin is yelling at the White Hat again. He's yelling at him.
Yeah. And he's right. I don't know how they missed that one.
He's very animated on that one.
They were short, or a yard shy of a first down. It's going to be 4th down, and we're going to get another Eccles timeout.
Valonia's going to call this one.
I don't know. The White Hat may not want this timeout.
Now he's coming over. I don't want to make this walk, but I'm going to.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was no question that was a hold. I think it was Bills trying to come through the middle, and Bills just got wrapped up on the play.
I might go back and I want to watch that.
You see, I don't think we have the shot right now, but we get that conversation between Maupin and the White Hat, but Maupin pleading his case, just telling him, hey, pay attention to it, look at it, because it was about as obvious as a hold as you can get.
There's our buzzer
again. Timeout buzzer.
Sounds like the guy's working the horn are ready to get out of here.
Well, I think it might be the basketball coaches, so it makes sense.
That happens to us.
Unfortunately, no Shook this year. That's a sad thing. Is going to miss Coach Shook, now assistant principal over at Robinson High School. All right, so 4th down and 1, and they're going to go big package here.
Somebody's got to get out there.
Go with the run right up the middle. And it should be enough for the first down, as that was number 5, Ryder Froneberger. And
just barely.
And they needed inside the 4. They're right.
They've already told the sticks to move, so I guess they gave it to them.
So that is enough for an Acre Pharmacy first down. 1st and goal, Eagles, with 8:50 to go in the ball game. Again, they score here, it gets interesting. It becomes a 2-score game.
It is, but you're still taking a little bit of time. I mean, you don't have to go super fast right now, but I wouldn't get the play clock down under 10 seconds each time right now.
Same play here. Froneberger going to take the snap. Ashcraft split out
left.
wide. Froneberger this time is stacked up. That's the play needed on 4th down. Instead, they stack him up and back him up to the 5. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Who was that? They got him. Looked like a single digit, maybe. Maybe it was Jonathan Williams.
They said Ward is what our PA guy said. No.
Ward, is he even out there?
I don't think so.
If he is, he's on the left side. If Ward's out here, he's on the left side. But yeah, I don't even think Ward's out there.
I don't think he is either.
So we got the Ward. Yeah, the wrong call from the spotter that time.
This time Ashcraft.
That is Ward, but he's on the opposite side. He would have been him.
And they give it out outside. Nice little move, but stumbles down. And it'll be 3rd and goal from the 1. I can tell you, the only reason I feel like they'd bring Froneberger in to run there is just to give Ashcraft a break.
Yeah. Here he comes again, I bet, yep. But now you're down to the 1, so get your heavy package in. Because they ran an extra offensive lineman. You got 6 offensive linemen out there, too.
It's substitute as they run Jackson on the field. It'll be Ashcraft. Now they'll switch out of it. Froneberger take the snap. Low snap. It's on the turf. Picked up and touchdown. Eagles as Froneberger over the goal line. And with exactly 7 minutes left here in the 3rd, it is a 38-24 ball game.
I don't know. I'd be interested to see if he actually got across right there because he came. It helps that I think they took his legs out from under him first. He kind of had a little air underneath him there before he touched the ground.
Have a great shot of it. I don't see our field cam, Kristen down there hanging on the fence behind the end zone now, taking a quick little breather.
She's just chilling, huh?
She was in position, and then she after the play took a.
So there ain't nothing for me to video right now.
We're gonna go for 2 here on our Kids Being Kids Therapy extra point.
Now she's got herself a buddy down there talking to her.
Dropping Ashcraft left side and incomplete. As who's that on the coverage? 12 or 13?
I think it's 12, but yeah.
Glover. So Darius Glover on the play, and so 2-point conversion no good. And with 7 minutes to go, Hornets lead this one by 2 touchdowns. And I'll tell you what, Tyler, that 3rd quarter, lot of up and down, but now maybe a little more nerve-wracking than it needs to be.
Yeah, definitely a lot more positives went Valonia's direction in that one. But, one thing, they used 2 of their timeouts already, so they're only down to 1. So with 7 minutes left.
Not according to the board.
That there's no way.
Ours is, I don't know. Board says they have
They're
2.
just flipped. Like, the board says they have 2, we have 1, but I'm pretty sure it's the opposite direction. I think our guy Andy has been on top of that one.
They got 1, we got 2.
Yeah, that's what somebody go tell the basketball coaches, I guess. They've been too worried about hitting the buzzer than keeping track of who has you called timeouts.
Hey, let's we'll wait till after this Akel's kickoff, and we'll go talk to our third member, Mr. Jake Hall, down on the sideline. He's got some good stuff down there from Coach Moppin.
Looking onside-y now, huh?
I would assume we'd see that here. 7 minutes and supposedly only 1 timeout left, or 2.
We've had a lot of practice at these against Sylvan Hills. But there looks like there's some confusion out there, though. Guys getting lined up. Yeah, they were not.
It's a bit of an interesting formation. So this one takes a good
Just
hop and caught. So somebody lost a helmet in there, too.
The guy that caught the ball.
Yeah.
At least he caught it. That's 14.
That's Jaden Baker again. Let's go down real quick to Jake Hall on our sideline as he's got a little bit for us.
Yeah, guys, you can feel the frustration from Coach Moffin right there. Ashcroft is 100% of the Eagles' offense, especially on that drive right there. And credit where credit's due. I think Ashcroft might have broke my ankles, and I was standing on the sideline as he was making some moves over there. He is definitely twinkle toes. He's moving all around the pocket, and it's very difficult for this defensive line to stop him. They're going to have to figure it out.
And Jake, am I wrong? He looks like a little Johnny Manziel out there at times. It's just impressive to watch.
No, he does. He's very creative when he's running. It's not just a run up straight up the field. He's very creative, moving around the pocket, making moves, going up to the sidelines. It's very entertaining to watch from out here for sure.
I appreciate it, Jake. We'll come back to you here in just a few. So after the run by Henry, we've got a couple of things. An injured Eagle. We've also got a PI roofing penalty.
That hold looked like it was more Davian Jordan was just whipping the guy that he was blocking, so they threw a hold on. He was just driving the guy.
Yeah, looks like another cramp. Didn't even know Eagles got cramps.
I mean, I guess sometimes their wings just stiffen.
I guess so.
Just looking out there, the Eagles, the Valonia, they're gassed. They got half their guys out on defense have their helmets off right now, getting their drinks. You just see the Hornets, and they're all, they're getting a drink. They're tired. Everybody's tired, but half of them have their helmets off and are gassed. So that's something. Hopefully, these last 6 minutes, we can take advantage of and just kind of keep it going and keep grinding on them where they don't have enough left in the tank afterwards.
Well, this would definitely be one of those moments where you want to see that 7-minute drive. Just hand it off, run it down their throat, finish it off with a touchdown with about 30 seconds to go, and call this thing good and get to the bye week. So we'll see, as the injured player was number 50, Dallas Bryant. He's off the field under his own power here.
See if they try and keep it on the ground. They had a very successful run. Unfortunately, it was called back with a holding penalty that was not necessary, because where the holding occurred, that's about where Jacob was tackled anyway.
So it'll be 1st and 14. Warrior will fake it, looking left side, got his man caught and immediately taken down at the 45-yard line.
As he spun, it looked like he kind of had to catch it again. Like he went to spin and he started to lose it. But good job holding on to it when he got hit about right after he got hit. He got hit in his hands.
is over at Lakeside in a game that everybody thought would be the closest one across the networks. Robinson dominates. Final 35-16. Senators knock off Lakeside in a revenge game from last year's semifinals.
That's good. I picked them to win.
Yeah, I took Robinson as well. I don't know that I'll ever pick Robinson to lose until week 10. And Warrior hands it off right side. And this one's stacked up. We'll bring up a third down. Oh, and things have separated down in West Monroe, as now West Monroe leads that ball game 31-17. Just under 3 minutes to play. Some changes for the Bruins as they went with their sophomore quarterback.
Ooh.
Will Sabota has a wrist injury, and so he'll be out for an extended time.
Until further notice.
Yes.
He'll be out until he's not out.
Be curious to see if he ends up instead
playing receiver.
Back to wide receiver. This one, he wanted Hampton. The pressure forced that one high. Warrior hits the deck. And that'll bring up fourth down. Punt team will hit the field.
Yeah, I figure you'll see the punt on this one. 2-possession game, 5 minutes left. Don't want to give him a short field at this point.
And this is, you know, we talked with Coach Maupin in our pregame swarm, and we were talking about what can you learn from everything that happened in the second half of that Parkview game. And they talked about finishing in the Sylvan Hills game and not finishing in the Parkview game. This is a moment to finish as that one skips back there. Brackett does a heck of a job just to get that
he
punt
hurt
away.
himself.
Man, as it rolls down inside the 30 to the 26, and now we check on Brackett.
As soon as he kicked it, he came up hopping.
He's been dealing with that ankle, whatever that was, during the Sylvan Hills game. Brackett not getting up as Band-Aid has made his way out, as well as the Valonia trainer.
He's starting to work his way up. Oh.
Oh, no, he's not.
Didn't like how that felt. Maybe just that same ankle, tweaked it again probably, and those not comfy for sure.
I think you're right, Tyler, but I'm judging by the way that Band-Aid and the coach are. I don't know if he got any kind of contact, but they're reacting as a couple of guys would when your buddy might have hurt himself in a spot that you don't want to talk about. That was the initial reaction when I saw Band-Aid come up to him, because Band-Aid didn't really try to treat him. Band-Aid just kind of turned and walked around the other side to give him his moment. But it does look more like ankle or knee something. Ashcraft drops. And here he goes again, stepping up through the pocket across the 35. Stays on his feet as nobody takes him down. Still on his feet as he spins out of a tackle inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Acre Pharmacy first down, and Valonia is rolling.
Somebody's going to have to figure out how to tackle this kid. He like sidestepped in that one.
All the way down to the 39 into Hornet territory. Jim Ashley says 134 on the ground. It feels like he's got about 400
yeah,
on the
it
ground.
feels like it's more than that.
Now drops. Throwing over the middle. You're going to get PI, won't you?
Yep.
Yep. From way over there, and he couldn't even see the other side of him. I don't understand how he calls that while Jordan Harris is nearly being tackled on the rush over here from the end. Goodness.
There's a lot going on in these last few possessions for the Eagles that are just making it a little bit easier on them.
I'll tell you what, Harris had done a good job to split the double team and was about to have a free look at Ashcraft, and he was held. I'm sure you could hear Jim Ashley in the background yelling. And then I don't understand how you call that PI when you're the official 30 yards away, the backside of the play, but it'll be an Acre Pharmacy first down. Now Ashcraft does give it away. Hartwood up the middle. 2 on the play. It'll bring up second down with 4:07 to go.
Davian Jordan knifes through there, gets him down pretty quick. Valonia's going to have to move. 4 minutes, only 1 timeout. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what the refs have in their books, but.
The 1+. Kids being kids therapy extra points. Valonia 0 of 4, and it's not even close on any of them. Even the 2-point conversions haven't looked good. Ashcraft picks this one up off the turf. Here he goes again. Left side this time. Broke his man down and stays on his feet, pushed out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 3:34 to go.
And at this point, defensively, you're starting to kind of get nervous about trying to make a tackle, so you're slowing yourself down a little bit more. Like you have a really good chance right there to try and get him tackled and keep it in bounds so the clock keeps running, but they are second-guessing themselves at this point because of how many tackles he's broke, and they let him get to the sideline.
That play is good for an Eagles first down.
Ashcraft looking, pumps, now throws it middle, and no, couldn't hold on to it. It's a good ball, but Ringgold couldn't hold it. And that, yeah, you're right. I saw what you saw.
He about gave him another half a fifth. It would have been half the distance, but it's a good play. And then he kind of stepped over him and walked over him and looked like he said something. He said, don't make a good play and then just move on. Don't give them. They don't need any more help right now.
You know, and this has been, even though it's only been played 11 times, it's been a heck of a rivalry. I know it's been a rivalry since the day we started doing this. It even got pretty ugly back a few years ago, but this has been a heck of a matchup, and this could be the last one, as this is the end of the contract. It's not been renewed. Ashcraft, oh my goodness! The Sandman just takes
No,
him
that
out
was
at the
Davian. That was Davian Jordan. Yeah. He tried to turn the brakes on, and then he slipped, and then Jordan doesn't let him. He makes him pay for it. As long as he's going to use their last timeout, from what I think it is their last timeout. We'll see what he's probably.
I think they're trying to figure it out too.
They're going to talk about it.
And it's going to be an Akel's timeout. Our Akel's Carpet One Floor and Home, making your home beautiful for less for over 35 years. Located 10 Maumelle Curve Court, North Little Rock, as well as over in Sherwood and on, I believe, Rodney Parham as well. You can give a call, 501-214-0495 or akelscarpet1.com. As Valonia playing in and out of our Easy Hall red zone here. They are under 90 seconds to play in Louisiana, as West Monroe looks like they're going to finish that one off and send PA to 0-3 to start the year.
Oof. Are they playing 4 non-conference games? Or did they not play week 0?
They played week 0, but they didn't play last week.
So 0-2 to start the year.
You're right. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Because you said y'all are going to Texas next week. They're gonna play 4 non-conference games. Okay, I was just making sure I wasn't off.
I'm ahead of myself. 0-2.
Hey, he's already giving them the loss next week.
That's gonna be an uphill battle too against Highland
Not
Park.
wrong.
Sack on that play makes it 4th down and 24, and they have to go for this with 2:50 to play.
If I'm Valonia, I'm drop back and then tuck it and run, Ashcraft.
It's a long way to go, though, on this one. Here comes the pressure. Ashcraft just launches it up and going to be picked off in the end zone. Intercepted, take a knee.
No, don't.
Take a knee.
Just get
Thank
there.
you.
You go. he gave every chance he could to see if he could get out of there, and he finally decided, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Let me just take a knee. Very good decision. He thought about it.
That was Jacob, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Jacob Henry on the interception that could seal it. And yeah, your timeout situation is wrong because it's still 2 timeouts up there. So I can't blame it on Shook anymore, though. Can I blame it on Hall?
You can
or
still
Toombs.
blame it on
Maybe
Shook.
it's Toombs.
He trained him, right?
Yeah, Hall and Toombs are still here, though, so we can still blame it on them.
So one first down, you can get into the victory formation.
And they'll hand it away. Bubba Johnson looking to secure a victory as he's out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. And no stoppage here. So I believe our board is right that there are no timeouts left for Valonia, or they'd be using them.
That's what I got.
Okay, so Jim has that as well. So they are out of timeouts as far as we know.
Jim knows.
That's right. Don't question Jim Ashley. And if you got a question for him, call him 501-928-407. He'll make you a banner. Or preferred printing at sbcglobal.net if you prefer the email machine. Bubba again. And Ryan Deal couldn't make the tackle, but the Eagles there to help wrap him. Oh, boy. They got him. They got him. Yep.
That was as much of a flop as anything. No.
That's what Clinty's saying. Is like they're getting on him, but I mean, Clinty may have gave him a little extra, but
there's no point in it right now.
Exactly.
And I think that's what they're trying to tell him. It's like, man, you just there's no point, and now you're going to reset that clock from 40 to 25 seconds, and you're going, and you have to get this first down.
And you could have put the game away. And now
you're putting yourself in a chance where you probably got to punt it away, which, I mean, a minute 30, they'll get the ball back with less than a minute, but in no timeout. So it's still a 2-possession game, but I mean, just you're doing extra that you don't got to do.
Yeah, just as long as you can avoid just a disastrous punt situation here.
Don't want a Michigan State punt.
Oh gosh, no, please no.
Was there a 7 penalty for 100? No, I'm sorry. Wrong.
I was about to say, whoa. Now Warrior, they'll hand it off again. Johnson breaking tackles and all the way out to the 24-yard line. So 4th down as they send the punt team out. This will get down to what, about 40 seconds. Who is going? I guess Levi will punt this time. Would be my assumption. As he's still out there.
By the time Valonia catches it and returns it or whatever they do, you'll be 40 seconds, a little bit below. Or a little bit above.
Yeah, you're going to get to 46, have to snap it there if they don't just take a delay here.
Or take a timeout.
They do get the snap off. Warrior nearly had it blocked, but got it out of there. And now just keep rolling. Don't touch it.
Make them blow the whistle. Oh, there you go. Yeah, don't even touch it. Make him stop it. So 35 seconds.
35 seconds. It'll be Valonia football. Down 38-24.
Definitely not the second half you're hoping to have. That's, you came out first game of the year. You had a pretty good second half against Sylvan Hills offensively, but past 2 weeks, second half's kind of went against you. Luckily, you built a big enough lead in the first half of this one that it's not going to come back and bite you. But definitely got to figure out kind of how to come out in the second half ready to go, ready to play like you did in the first.
And really, they opened the third quarter really well. I mean, moved it down the field without too many problems. Ashcraft drops, throws, got his man. That's Ringgold, makes the catch. And Ringgold runs out of bounds inside the 30. And we'll mark it at the 27. That'll be an Acre Pharmacy first down with 27.5 to go.
Don't have to move fast this time. You got out of bounds. Clock stops, so you get to catch your breath, get a regular play call in.
Ashcraft looking, pressure, takes off again. Inside the 20, he'll run out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And that'll be another Acre Pharmacy first down. So 1st and 10 with 20 seconds to go.
if you can get one tackle inbounds, then you're in a pretty good spot. But you keep letting them get to the sideline, and they're just going to keep chunking it a little bit on you, and then score and trying on another onside kick. You got to get one tackle inbounds, and it completely changes what this looks like with 20 seconds left.
There's ever been a time to see the Sandman get in there and get a sack. This is it. Ashcraft drops, just takes off up the middle. Inside the 10, now pushed out of bounds at the 6.
I don't even know if they're actually trying to throw the ball because the receiver out here, 34, looked like he was blocking the whole time. He already had set that block up so Ashcraft could get outside.
I think they're just as enamored watching Ashcraft just kind of take off all over the place as much as we have been. "13 seconds to play."
If they can score right here, get an onside kick, they'll at least have a shot at throwing it to the end zone.
Boy, pressure. They got Ashcraft hard, but he delivers to Ringo.
Inbounds.
And a good tackle inbounds, and that should do it.
I was going to say, why'd they stop the clock? Yeah, that's going to be it. Oh, no, it was a first down.
It's a first down, yeah. So they're going to get one more play, and they're actually going to have to add some time to that clock, I would assume.
Because he did stop it like he should have because it was a first down. They got to get set and snap
it. They're not going to add time. Okay, now they're, yeah. It's going to be an official timeout to add about 4 seconds here. They're going to probably put about 6 or 7 on the clock.
At least 5. You can't ever say that ever in a school.
Oh, gosh, you're right. My kids have started saying that. I finally looked at my 8-year-old and said, "You're an idiot. Stop."
Even nowadays, even if you just say the number 6 or the number 7, like you don't even have to say both of them anymore. You just say one of the numbers, and they all start doing it.
I can't stand it.
Oh, my gosh.
Good. Just be glad you don't have children. 6, 7.
And you got to do the hands. Oh,
6,
my gosh.
All right. So I think they said to put 7 on the clock. But I based on previous times.
Maupin refuses to tell him.
Yeah.
He told him whenever it was for us. But now you can communicate that with them.
Arms crossed. He is not. There we go. 7. Now he said roll it.
Because they got the first. Yeah, you should. Because they got the first down. But now that they've set. Yep.
Now they run it 6 seconds, 5 seconds. They snap it. That's some confusion. And Ashcraft may have gotten in anyway. Let's see.
I don't think he did.
Time expires.
No.
And
no, he got him short.
That'll do it. So the buzzer sounds, and the Hornets will survive here at home, winning this one 38-24, and getting their first victory of the season as we head into the bye week. And let's see, Jake. I don't know, Jake. Do you want to try to get Coach after this? And the thing is, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get Coach, but we'll talk for a minute, and we'll give you time to see if you can catch Coach down there. So, but as he gives us the thumbs up for field level, but
I think he's at the end of. He was the first one in line, so he's all the way over there on Valonia's sideline now.
You know, I mean, Tyler, as you look at this one, and it got a little nerve-wracking there late, obviously, but a good quality win over what is a pretty impressive, at least quarterback situation for Valonia right now. And this was a fun one to watch on their end, a little more nerve-wracking than I think I wanted to be on my end.
Yeah, it definitely got dicey there late. I mean, it ended up being a 2-possession win, so, you know, it is what it is. But that's a quarterback that's definitely going to give some defenses some issues. For sure. Now, you know, we'll see kind of what their record ends up being at the end of the year. But that's a kid you definitely got to scheme up for defensively, and it's tough to get him down, and we saw that for sure in that second half. Struggled to get him on the ground, but I mean, ended up you pull one out, you get a W before you go into your bye week and start conference. So all in all, you know, it's an okay result. You would have liked to do a little bit more and get a little bit bigger of a difference there, but.
Yeah, Jake, we'll let him address his team. He normally goes straight to the huddle over there, so we'll let Coach Maupin address his team and congratulate him on a victory. And we'll hear from Coach Maupin here in a couple weeks. No coaches show this week for us, obviously no broadcast this week. And so bye week. You guys can catch us on our NSS networks, though, as we do have 2 games this week. That's it. Everybody else is on a bye. We thought everyone had a bye, but somehow Mills found a game at the last minute, and so they did fill this week. They will play Blytheville next Friday at home. So you'll have that, and then you'll have Pulaski Academy over on PA Live playing down at Highland Park. And so join us for those broadcasts later in the week. But overall, Tyler, any other final thoughts on this one as we head to the bye?
I mean, just make sure you got a few guys banged up. Hopefully you can get them healthy over the next couple of weeks. You know, got to make sure you work out some of the kinks, get your offensive line all on one page so that you can – we started to run the ball better late there. That's just something that needs to be more consistent down in and down out. And then just make sure that coming out of halftime and into the fourth quarter, you can kind of stay fresh. That's, you know, a depth issue that you can't really fix in a couple weeks, but hopefully you can get some other guys to come on, getting a little better game shape so that as you move through the quarters, you're playing just as good the fourth as you were the first.
Yeah, I think that's a big key. They started well. You want to see them finish just as well. You want to see them start that second half just as strong as they and finish it just as strong as they started this second half. And so that's a big piece, the discipline piece. And you know, let's just cut out the silly penalties and the post-play extracurriculars. You know, one thing that I like to see tonight, even though, you know, Ashcraft kind of ran all over him because of just his ability. There were some tackling issues at times, but I thought overall that was just Ashcraft being an athlete out there and did a great job. But what I like that I didn't see tonight, we've seen over the first couple of weeks, there was a lot of arguing back and forth between guys out on the field when big plays would happen or bad things would happen. And I thought tonight you saw a very cohesive unit out there really playing together for most of this ball game. And so that I like to see. Again, we want to see a little bit more of that running game as we continue on. And you get the bye, then you get BB as you start conference play. And as we talked about earlier in that schedule, it's a manageable schedule for the next several weeks until you get to that big matchup against Robinson. And so you really got to get things going and figured out before you get there.
Yeah, for sure. Just that's what's nice about it. You do start the conference season on the lighter end, so hopefully you can continue to build on what you're doing, where by the time you get to some of those tougher games at the end of the conference season, you're hitting on all cylinders.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us here on the Maumelle Sports Network. I want to say a big thanks to our field camera operator, Kristen Henson, our main camera up here, Mr. Bobby Jones. Of course, Jim Ashley up on stats. Jake Hall down there on our sideline. And then Andy Gates up here running the ones and twos. For Tyler Chenault, I'm Steve Henson. We'll see you guys back here on the Maumelle Sports Network in 2 weeks. Go Hornets.